Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 125 of Press Any Key, the wonderful return of Press Any Key. We've been away for a while. I got nothing to follow that up with. I forgot how to do this. Anyway, you can follow us on all social media below. Join us in our conversation, not only in the comment section, but in our Discord. With me, as always, are my co-hosts, Mike Burke, Nick McFly, Hey Gingy. You can find all their social media out there. Just
don't come looking for us.
Just don't come looking for us. But yeah, so this week, listen, I know everyone, I've gotten some questions about, was Blue Beetle good? We didn't see Blue Beetle. It just didn't happen. But I do have a video here for you, for anyone, non-spoiler, who perhaps wanted to see Blue Beetle and didn't get out to see it this weekend. Considering the film only made $40 million, kind of makes sense.
Blue Beetle is one of the best DC movies I've seen in a long time, but maybe
Fair.
I am just biased because I really like superhero movies about a reluctant hero who's trying to raise money for his family, who gets fired from his job, and then accidentally takes home a bug-themed superhero costume, which he doesn't know how to use, so he teams up with the daughter of the original superhero who he's becoming the new one of, and he has to stop an evil tech billionaire from creating an army of suits that have the same power as the hero to send to the military to take over the world. It's Ant-Man. This movie's amazing. It's just like Ant-Man.
So,
Well,
was Ant-Man amazing though?
I like, hey, the first Ant-Man's good.
I don't understand. I feel like the first Ant-Man gets a lot of hate.
It
I think
does.
it's just been stanked by the rest of it.
The first Ant-Man?
Well, like the new one's just it's been stank.
Let's not even talk about
I
it
didn't know
anymore.
stank was a verb.
It is now.
You don't know stank was a verb.
I knew stank was
Please.
like a state of being, but I didn't know it being. I didn't know you could stank someone.
Stank is a way of life.
Oh, okay. It's a mindset.
It
Really.
comes from your soul.
There you go.
I was looking at the box office subreddit, and everybody is just like, I knew it was going to do bad. I didn't know it was going to do this bad. It's like sub 50 million worldwide
Yeah, and
for opening weekend.
so here's the thing about this. Once again, these are just the facts of the situation.
There's a writer's strike going on, and they can't advertise.
This film was supposed to go straight to HBO Max. When the new regime came over, James Gunn looked at it and was like, hey, this is actually pretty good. The director pushed for it to go to a full theater release. This thing was never getting the money to get the marketing it needed to do well in theaters because the money people there were always in the mindset of this thing is supposed to go to streaming. It's lucky that we're making anything on it. So I think they're going to be happy with their 40, 50, 60 million run that they're going to get, and then they're going to throw it up on HBO Max. And apparently, like we said, apparently it's good. It really is kind of just appeals to one demographic of people the most, and those are the people who are going to get the most enjoyment at it, that being the Blue Beetle fans and Latinos. That's just the facts of the situation.
Well, I mean, and the diehard just comic book movie people.
But
bet,
we
like,
don't see
Pat's
that.
a
But we don't.
diehard
Yeah, but we
comic
don't
book
see that
movie.
though, because you got that when you got that with.
That's also a 30-year-old man. I'm talking about like 15, 16-year-old, and they got nothing else to do.
I think the 30-year-old
30s
man
and
is
40 years with families are the demographic for this. But
Fair enough.
The thing I'm talking about specifically is that you saw the turnout of the general audience, at least in the opening weekends of Shazam, Black Adam,
Morbius.
The Flash just broke the horse. Okay, like the horse's back is broken. It can't fit. It can't carry this fucking franchise anymore. So I think they're going to be happy with whatever they get. And the film cost $100 million. So like I said, it's going to ultimately be like, oh, it's $20 million for us to put this up
Yeah,
on.
it's not
just
bad.
using round numbers, not talking about. But
What,
it's truthfully what I've heard is that the 38% of the demographic, judging by numbers, were Latinos that went in, and they gave the film an A. But the 25% of white audience went in, and I can't remember what the other demographic was. They ended up giving the film more in like a B plus range, and that brought the cinema score down to B plus. So this is backed up by fact for sure.
right
Did you guys see the advertising for this movie in the last couple of weeks?
about the fake writer's strike stuff.
No. The actual Blue Beetle ads that I've been getting for like the last 3 weeks.
I've not
It's
seen a
just-
single ad.
Yeah.
It's Kia. It's just Blue Beetle in Kia ads.
I saw it was basically people were tweeting that was like, Blue Beetle has now joined the picket line, and it was like a dude in the Blue Beetle costume.
I could not believe that. I didn't know you could do that.
I was like, that feels like a real sketchy workaround to this
Yeah.
writer strike thing. And then another one was basically like Blue Beetle writer, Chris, whatever, standing in front of the like big poster with a picket sign, and I was like, oh, that's just like straight up marketing, in a
The
real
poster of Blue Beetle.
Well, it's like on the the production building, like at like
Gotcha.
wherever, like
Yeah.
Paramount or whatever
He's like,
studios.
I'm picketing. Also, don't forget.
Yeah.
That being said, James Gunn did say that this movie is good, and the best part about the movie I've heard from every review, negative or positive, is the characters are the best part, including George Lopez. I've heard
Including George Lopez.
I've seen multiple reviews that said that. I've only heard one that said George Lopez wasn't funny, and that's because
that's
they just
wrong.
don't like George Lopez. I've heard from multiple people, and I know one guy who saw it. He took his kids to see it, and he said it was like old school George Lopez.
That's great.
Like it was that type of manic
It was
hysteria.
that
like,
2 a.m, woken up by Lowrider at 3, 30 fucking volume.
in slow motion on a trampoline, George Lopez.
And so they said that these characters are being brought into the DCU, and that this is their.
You said that since it's been released, or
I believe up to it, and like he has since confirmed it after it's released.
don't
Like,
know.
yeah, these are being brought because it's just he's like, I'm not letting this go to waste. Like this is too
maybe
good.
I'm in a bubble because I'm constantly now. I've started really following the box office subreddit, and all of the reviews that I've seen is just basically saying like what a big failure this is. Obviously, from the mindset of somebody who's thinking this was always going to be on HBO.
Yeah.
It makes sense, like, or this
It's
is
a-
more,
yeah,
it's
it's
more
a
of a
win,
win.
yeah.
But I think more people are viewing it as this is a failure. And on top of that, I've seen many Latinos reviewing it saying like, why is every Latino the Southern California Mexican family?
exactly.
the
Yeah,
classic,
it's
like,
yes.
Not every Latino or Hispanic person is California Mexican.
Yeah, no. I'm not here. I haven't seen the movie, so I can't critique it or not.
But that's what I'm
But
seeing
yeah,
on the
but
box
yeah,
office.
this is
subreddit.
what
And, like,
you
these
can
are-
see.
These
Yeah,
are people who are like, that their whole thing is talking about this like us.
Yeah.
Not general audience.
no. I get that, and I think the other thing too to remember is that like this might have been a strategy move because you know that Apple and Amazon are now releasing their films in theaters first, giving them a proper theatrical run, and then they're putting them on their streaming services
What a
too.
concept.
I think this for them is them getting in front of that model too, to be like, see, like we originally were making this just for streaming, then we put it to theaters, and then we'll get a bunch of money, and then it'll live on the catalog forever, and then people can watch it. You know
Well,
what
I
I
feel
mean?
like if they're gonna, I mean, I think that's a good idea because that's just how things are shifting now.
Yeah.
I'm sure this will get a lot more. I think this will probably have a little bit more legs than we think it'll have once it kind of goes out on streaming, and like we'll all watch it once it goes to streaming.
Yeah.
But what does that even mean, though? Like, what
Legs?
is legs?
As in
no.
it'll-
I know what legs means. Legs on streaming.
Or as in, in the
'Cause
context of what I'm
you
saying.
mean like there's going to be more subscribers on
No.
HBO
I don't
Go?
think-
More
I don't think
people will
there's gonna
watch the
be-
movie because specifically, I remember when
How does that
Civil
earn revenue?
it won't earn revenue. I'm just saying it'll earn
possibly the ad tier programs.
Or no, I'm not even talking from a financial thing. I'm talking about like the equity of Blue Beetle
Right, the
probably will
success.
increase.
Or it might do what okay. So when the pandemic happened and they shift to going to when they went to VOD releases for everything, I said that they can't charge the same as they would as you would if you go to the theater because you're going from a per ticket model to a per household model.
Right.
To watch a brand new movie in your house is going to cost like $80, $90, and you're only going to get it for like 48 hours. You know what I mean? It's going to be like renting it. So I'm glad that we're not taking that approach. We're doing theaters. But if it's like, hey, this just came out of theaters. I mean, like it left the theaters yesterday. Now it's on HBO Max. It's $5 to watch it right now.
$5 is reasonable because I think a lot of the conversations that I'm hearing is that to go to a theater, especially with a family, you're paying $20 per ticket. You're not getting out of there for like close to $100.
It's 150,
with,
100 to 150
with
bucks.
snacks and shit.
We just had somebody comment on one of our videos talking about how it's expensive for people to go to the movies and like just get A-list. Okay,
I was going to say, shout out
like,
A-list.
I'm sorry. Like if it's only 25, listen. I'm not gonna presume
Are you gonna
everybody's
get an A-list
financial.
for every member of your family.
Then you're only paying $100 a month as opposed to every $100 you go to the movie theater. You know what I mean?
If you're, and that's honestly not a bad thing. Like if you're like, okay, well, this is our family outing and what we're doing.
Yeah.
But I think that they should just do, if they're going to do this model where they're releasing something for a week and then throwing it up, that they should make an event of the release. It's like for 1 week only, it's in theaters, or for this weekend only, it's in theaters.
Well, we'll see, because Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon is getting a 2-week head start in the theaters before it goes to Netflix.
Yeah.
Flowers of the Killer Moon, the new Martin Scorsese, that's going to theaters for a couple weeks before it goes to Apple.
You're saying a couple weeks? Do you mean like literally a couple weeks?
Yeah, like literally like a
I feel like
3-week run.
That's a movie theater.
The only way,
like I can't. A couple weeks feels like not enough time for that.
For that movie, no. But if you did like, a movie like this, I mean, you can just look at how, I think what Barbie and Oppenheimer did, I mean, Barbie more specifically, for like the event of going to see a movie and how all the theaters like decorated shit and did everything, is a good model. That it's kind of like you're basically switching to a limited time activation for theater runs, and then you just continue to do your streaming.
I do think they miscalculated on putting out the physical release of Barbie, though. The digital version is going to be available in like 2 weeks. It's like, no, that should have waited till Christmas and amp up the hype. Like, oh, we can have Barbie at home now.
Honestly, you're not wrong.
But besides the point, specifically in the case of Martin Scorsese, actually, the problem with Martin Scorsese is that he's making $200 million movies, and he has never had an audience for that. He hasn't. When they did The Irishman, and okay, so I heard this on an episode of The Weekly Planet. I have never heard this anywhere else. However, there is a story that one of the hosts on there talks about how Martin Scorsese was at the BAFTA Awards, like a banquet, like for the BAFTA nominations that night. And he got pretty sauced up. And he was spouting off that
This better not be about space lasers.
No. He was dude, fucking I heard about space lasers last night too, okay? He was spouting off about how he's pissed off that he went to every studio with with The Irishman, and they wouldn't greenlight it because it cost $200 million. So he had to go to Netflix because Netflix was like, of course, we'll throw any money because you're using fucking way too old actors.
Yeah.
So it's going to take longer to shoot in general. And 2, you're employing special effects, like heavy special effects during every single scene of this film. It's going to cost a fucking arm and a leg to do. But Netflix was willing to pay it. The only way that they were going to get him, though, you need something?
No, there's a bug.
Oh, okay. The only way that they were going to get him, though, was if he got a theatrical release. So I believe The Irishman came out the week of Christmas, or no, the week in November, sometime around there.
St. Patrick's Day.
The 3 weeks leading up to it, though, it was in theaters, so you could go. So that's when and that's when we started saying like the theaters could save Netflix. But
it just makes so much sense.
Yeah,
why not?
We still all support it.
I mean, I think it was one of those things where they saw where the box office was going, like because we still haven't returned to pre-COVID box office numbers.
No,
Barbenheimer's the only weekend. I think Spider-Man was another one. The Batman was another one where it's like, oh, the health of and then this summer, I have no idea. I could not tell you why almost every movie this summer bombed. Like, why?
A lot of miscalculations.
I think there was a lot of miscalculations in the schedule for sure. But I also think why don't they utilize the month of August more? You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck did they not put Mission Impossible out as like a fucking late August,
like a Labor Day?
Like a Labor Day thing.
I mean, there's a lot of miscalculations with that. I think we're also in just a really weird, and I think we're going to see a real quick pendulum correction of it, where movies that are costing $200 to $300 million failing because they've only closed $50 to $60 million in an opening weekend, which realistically is a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
But it's
just
when
you've spent
you
200 plus the marketing budget.
Yeah, and even in
so it's like you can't just on the Scorsese
you're absolutely
thing,
right.
You can't just keep spending that much money on a movie unless you're fucking James Cameron.
And on the topic of specifically Mission Impossible, they were riding the expectations of Top Gun. You know, because Top Gun was not only
billion.
Like it was.
And that was out of nowhere. Like nobody saw that coming.
That was the thing. It was like it was one of those things where it played at CinemaCon and people were like, "This is fucking amazing," and then they didn't hype the shit out of it. They were just like, "Let's just put it in theaters," and they did a normal market, and that was one of the craziest movies and a very good story too, and
And-
like a surprisingly good sequel. Like
Yeah.
it was everything it had to be. And then I guess that set the expectations for Mission Impossible 7, and it just couldn't. And I don't think it's not that I don't think that movie's as good. It's just I don't think it had the like I've been waiting for a sequel to Top Gun for 36 years. God damn it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was gonna say Top Gun came out Memorial Day weekend or the weekend
The
before
most
that.
American
so,
weekend, so-
And
yeah,
then they re-released it for
That's
4th
true.
of July, right?
I think it might have still been in theaters.
Or
I
they
think
might have done like a
They did like a
push
push.
They-
for
yeah,
it.
they brought it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember Joe was like, "You have to go. They're bringing it back. You have to go since you missed it." But what I want to piggyback off of what you were saying, like the correction, I've been hearing a lot of speculation that this is going to be like the era. I might be wrong with the decades, but like the 50s and 60s had a lot of really blown out budgets, really like over the top, opulent movies. And then that's when we get into the 70s, 80s, low budget, director driven movies that are some of the most revered, like The Raging Bull,
Yeah.
You know what? You're absolutely right. Because you want to know what's going around on the internet this past weekend? Secret Wars is supposedly going to be a soft reboot to the MCU. It's going to wipe out 90% of the prior canon, get rid of the X-Men Fox universe, all that shit, and they're going to start brand new, fresh faces. Secret Wars.
I thought you were talking about
Which,
Secret
like, listen,
Invasion.
don't get me wrong. I get this is just
Same.
Yeah, this is just going around now. Like, I don't understand. My ears just popped, so I guess I'm getting better. This is like,
Either that or the house is
like
gaining altitude.
Uh-oh.
Or losing altitude.
I don't know what's happening. Why is it getting hard to breathe? Either way, though, that would make sense. Could you imagine if the MCU, after all this seismic shift and everything, because Guardians is still the number 2 grossing film of the year.
Of
It's
the year?
Yeah, of this year.
Did Barbie not?
Barbie, Mario,
Okay.
Guardians.
Where does Spider-Verse come in?
It actually just got beat by Elemental.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very long legs, but continue.
But either way, my point in me saying this is, can you imagine an MCU going forward where it's like, we're giving you a budget of $80 million and we're giving this movie to a director like Darren Aronofsky that has a very specific vision for something, or it's like or like a Matt Reeves, like a Batman trilogy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, instead of having one coherent universe, now we have multiple. Like, here's a Captain America trilogy that takes place in a world where only Captain America is around, or here's a Wolverine. Here's those World War II Wolverine movies where he meets Magneto and Captain America. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's too counter to what everything they've established. I think what is more likely is them just taking a hard look at what they've been doing and saying, we need to scale everything back. We need less releases per year, and we need more of a vision rather than just pump out as much as possible. I mean, like, everything that they've done on Disney Plus has basically led us to this point of where they're floundering.
it's too much. Yeah.
Well, that's why, like, I would love for that to happen, because that would be just giving us storytelling and director-driven storytelling, which is what we love for
And
those
now
kind of
DC
movies.
has been their kind of secret weapon.
Yeah. And I mean, like, we might get, like, I mean, Doctor Strange 2 that was Sam Raimi, right? Or yeah, like if we got things like that with that very specific, like, tonality, where they're not worried about the 50 different threads of connecting to every other thing and this cameo here and this setup here for this thing and this and this and this, like,
It'd be nice if they
be cool.
organically found ways. Let these characters' movies play out, and then organically find ways. Maybe give some bigger overarching. You need to end up here, rather than micromanaging your directors and the whole storyline. We need to end up here. Whatever happens in between, have fun.
or just pull the people in and throw them all together for a big
Yeah.
movie. You don't
It's
have
also-
to, like, world
Not
events happen all the time.
Yep.
Like,
It's also one of
comics.
those things where it's like, I miss the MCU movies where it's like, this is a Captain America movie, but everything around him, it's clear that it exists in the MCU. Like, they talk about S.H.I.E.L.D., they talk about they don't call attention to these things like, oh, look it over here, and like, oh, and what this means for this movie. Like, I hated when they do that. Their best work was when they were like, we do this a film at a time, and we find the connective tissue throughout to make sure it fits the tone of what we're trying to do. And like, you see from all the way up to Endgame, they were a masters of doing the whole lighthearted superhero romp into this dark world ending. Oh fuck! All of our somebody
just like the Harry Potter movies.
yeah,
Yes,
and then capping it off with a wonderful epilogue of Spider-Man: Far From Home, and then the pandemic hit and all that stuff, right?
I got some problems with that one, but I'll let it slide.
But yeah, I think everybody is. It's just the problem with all of these movies right now is everybody has such
It's
fatigue
too much.
from it.
Yeah,
Well,
it's too much.
I saw an article that just made me so upset, and it was like talking about what Taika Waititi wants to do for the next.
I can't believe that they're having him
Thor,
back.
and I'm like, yeah,
For the
exactly.
next Thor?
Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, are we doing this again? Like, Taika needs to have the fucking keys taken away. He's lost privileges.
I don't think his directing needs to be
Directing
taken
is
away.
fine.
His
He should
writing,
not write. He should
and
not
I
write.
think that the other thing, and I think they need to get a TV guy. I think they need to just leave Kevin Feige and the film team alone. He can't be splitting his attention across all the TV thing.
Who's the guy that did Lost and the Watchmen TV series? Who the fuck is that? I always forget his name, but he's so good.
Jason Aldean.
Jason Aldean.
Yeah,
they
he
need
made
to get
those two
him.
TV shows, and he was like, "Try this into Small Town." so,
Liz,
Do
you got me?
Do you want to know who was in it or?
was
Who is the director?
All right.
For the Watchmen TV series.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah.
the showrunner.
Created by where? Hello, directors.
Hello.
I don't know. You want the showrunner?
Showrunner.
All right, everybody get out your devices.
Damon Lindelof.
I think
He just left Star Wars.
I think he would be a great person to bring in for this type of project.
But either way though, we'll see what happens with Captain Marvel. That's because for whatever reason with Marvel now, I'm like it's a wait and see. When there used to be a time where it's like, yo, they're about to blow me away no matter what, you know. So
Yeah.
I hope we
This
get
is about
back
to
to
be
there.
bases loaded home run.
Yeah, exactly. I hope we get back to that point. I don't think we'll ever see the money that you saw like with Secret Wars and everything. You know what I mean? I don't think you're gonna see what you saw with Endgame again. I just don't think it's possible.
you're trying to get, lightning in a bottle again. So
Well, not only that, it's like the foundation that was there for Infinity War and Endgame. We've lost momentum,
Yeah, that is.
and now they're like, when is Secret Wars scheduled?
2026.
It's like we do not have the time to get there.
Yeah.
It's
We
like
just don't.
There's like the fucking train in Mission Impossible 7.
You guys-
the bridge has been blown up. We've run out of tracks, motherfucker.
Blade has been trying to film for the
about
past
Blade.
4 years. That movie should have been done and out already.
God damn.
Okay.
I saw a list that was like, oh, here's all the superhero movies that are coming out in 2024. And everybody was like, you really think all 8 of these movies are like, there is like superhero movies from Marvel and DC, but it's like some of these haven't even started production.
If we get
yet.
half of those, a third,
yeah,
if that.
a
Like,
third would be like
They
on
pushed
pace.
Aaron Taylor Johnson's next big mess all the way into to next August.
Yeah,
That was supposed to be in
Craven.
October. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about a video game. Finally. So I played Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I remember
Please, can we get a chainsaw
I
sound drop, please?
the Justin
we'll
Bieber
save that
one.
for next time.
The Justin Bieber one.
oh no.
Have you seen that? Yeah. I
Oh,
can't
what
believe
the
he's
fuck
not
you're talking
canceled.
Yeah,
I'll show you
for
later.
several things.
Yeah. Anyway, so Texas Chainsaw Massacre, for anyone who doesn't know, I've mentioned it on here before, is one of my all-time favorite horror movies, especially from that era. I think there's a lot of movies from the 70s.
You did an old favorites on this. right?
Yes, specifically, I think there's a lot of films from the 70s that specifically do not hold up anymore. This one still does. I think it's just as creepy. I think it's just as scary as the first time I saw it. And it has a really fucked up ending that like fucks with your head. And so when I saw that, I believe Gun Interactive is like, what a name. Gun Interactive is the publisher on this. And
This just came out, right? This
yeah,
one?
it just came out this weekend. They dropped it on Game Pass too. So that is that was very nice.
Why are chain and saw two separate words? Is that
we couldn't get the rights to chainsaw.
So the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2023 video game, it's made by Sumo Digital, published by Gun Interactive, and it is an asymmetrical horror game in the same vein as Dead by Daylight. And
People love these fucking kind of
I
games,
hate
dude.
this
I
style
like.
of game.
and Friday the 13th. Now they also made Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th got shut down though because of this whole legal battle that they have with who actually holds the rights to the character.
Chainsaw.
Yeah,
versus chainsaw.
exactly. We just need a space, and we're just out of we're out of all the legal hot water.
So simple.
Friday the 1/3.
So, and the thing about Friday the 3rd, the thing about all these games is that they launch, and they kind of suck when they start, but it's always a unique like use case for it. This one, I believe, like Dead by Daylight has a wonderful community now. They have all of these great DLC I just bought. It was on sale on Steam because I had it on Game Pass, but I bought it on sale recently, and I got all of the DLC. I got Freddy, Jason, all the Resident Evil people, all that
Josie and
shit.
the Pussycats.
Josie and the Pussycats.
Are they in it?
Bill Murray, he's in there too. He's chasing me around. And I got it. It ended up coming out to like $30 or whatever, right? And I will play that game every October, all October, because it's just such a fun, like it gets you really in the Halloween mood.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But to me, the gameplay loop feels so like I could play it twice and just be like, "Oh, it's enough. I'm done."
I think first of all, you definitely need to be playing with a team that you're communicating with, and that is even more emphasized in Texas Chainsaw. So let me just
Go.
I'll just transition over to that real quick. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think, as far as asymmetrical horror games go, it puts its best foot forward on its launch, but I wouldn't say it's complete yet. And here's what I mean by that. There's 3 levels right now, all very dense, all very lovingly recreate the environments in which they take from the films. There's 3 killers. There's the hitchhiker, the older brother, and there's Sissy too. I don't know if she's in the original, but I think she's in one of the
I
sequels.
think the next DLC is Son of the Mailman.
Yeah.
Always is.
And then Mailman's always coming, Nick. and then Leatherface. Leatherface has to be in every game. Like someone is him no matter what, because that was the movie. Like he's got to be in it. So it's usually Leatherface and 2 others. So there's 3 killers and there's 4 survivors, right? The way it works is if you're a victim, which was the first game I played, you wake up and there's different puzzles that you have to complete without making sound, because that's how they track you, is like they'll see like a red thing like go off and like, you know how it looks like through a wall or something, like you'll see a red.
And other people are playing those killers,
are
right?
playing the killers, right? You can lock doors, you can crawl through crawl spaces, you can. And some characters, like my guy, his name is Leeler, I'm pretty sure, or Leland, whatever.
Leland, it's
He's got a
Leland.
shoulder.
Leeler.
He's got a shoulder charge that if a killer gets close to me, I can charge him with a shoulder charge. It's on a cooldown, but it at least buys
like
me.
his shoulder would explode.
He's got
He loses the arm, but the
Yes.
guy's face is blown off.
You get to get lock picks, fuses to it's.
Yeah.
The problem is right now, I think, one, there's an optimization issue, which doesn't surprise me at this point. There's just so many different components to work with. It's not terrible, but it's started
Every
to get on my
game
fucking
upon
nerves.
release is an
Yeah.
optimization issue.
Unless it's like unless it's like Call of Duty. Like at this point,
Honestly.
I can't wait to see. Starfield is 2 weeks away. I cannot wait to see
shit.
what the fuck
Okay.
that's going to be like. So then Texas, so Texas Chainsaw, that's what we're talking about. So then the thing with the 3 killers is that there's always like a kind of the victims are a little bit stronger than they are in Dead by Daylight, but the killers are, I don't want to say they're noticeably weaker, because there are some moments where you can just overpower somebody. Like there's no chance of them getting away because they get flustered and they run around. The worst part about the game is the level design. It's not the level dressing, because that is like, it looks like the farm. Like there's no 2 ways about it. The problem is that so you start off in this basement, you don't know where the fuck you are. You don't know where you're going, what you have to do. And I get it's supposed to give you that sensation of what am I doing? But also when it's my 10th match in, and the room is still so disorienting that you can't tell what you're doing or where you're going, or like there's no discernible landmarks to get you where you need to go. It's like it just kind of feels like you're running in circles and you don't have any direction on that moment as far as the victims are concerned. Because then Liz and I played a match where I did everything right.
I did
and
everything
they
right.
Still indicted him.
Where I had done everything right, and it was the most tense shit I have ever. I was like, oh fuck, like, and I got out of there thankfully, but and it's really exhilarating. But I didn't feel that feeling all the time, and I feel like Dead by Daylight does that better because they're the masters of this type of game.
Let me ask you, because I don't play these games. The disorientation in the beginning sounds like a good thing, because most games where you play the same map over and over again, it gets ruined by people who are just like so over familiar with the map, where it's like you're not playing the game anymore, you're playing a meta game.
Right. Well, they do different things where it's like this thing spawns here randomly and like this thing here and like, and the other thing is that but the main problem is that it's always you start off in a basement and you got to work your way outside and then you got to find that whatever to get to the next area to get out, right? Mm-hmm. All the basements look the same. There's no that if there was some sort of difference between them where I can be like, all right, I know this map, I got to go this way. You know what I mean? Like, it's just they all look so similar. But when you get outside, then it's like, oh, okay, we're at the house. Oh, okay, we're at the slaughterhouse. Oh, we're at the farm. You know what I mean? Like, you understand your geometry, not geometry, your geography.
Yeah.
You understand your triangles now. You understand the geography of the map more when you're outside as opposed to being in the basement. And like I said, I just feel like the disorientation and the sameness of every single map is what unfortunately takes the exhilaration out of some of the matches I've had where it's like we have done everything we needed to. We have survived. We've gotten to a point. Right. Yeah, exactly. He's ruined this.
So is it that you find that you have that moment in the basement of the panic and the like kind of confusion, but then it's really instantly nullified when you get upstairs? And is that the issue that you have with it?
Like I said, it's like I will find myself running around this basement for 10 fucking minutes, making zero progress and trying to figure a way out.
So it's to the detriment of the gameplay.
Yes.
That there's
yeah.
no consistency.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the thing is that all of the environments look extremely similar. So it's very hard for new players to get up and going and start figuring that out.
Like to me?
A skill issue.
Huh. A better player might not take
have this
might not take
problem.
10 minutes to get out of a basement.
I will say that. Well, I'll put it like this. For Dead by Daylight, for instance, like I said, the masters of this type of game.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the fact that like there's a specific goal with each map.
And boy, do I love turning on generators. Sure love that shit.
That's
changing tires.
That's very very straightforward. There is quite a lot of ways to get out, but zero of it is straightforward. You know what I mean? On the killer side, it's everybody's got different abilities to more, but like you don't even need those. Like Leatherface, I think he's the only one who can sprint because you can rev the chainsaw and swing it and sprint and everything. And he's fun. He's fucking running a chainsaw through people is always fun. But I just one of those things is like I think he plays better as his Dead by Daylight because he's in that too. I think he plays better in that game. So I think there's things for them to smooth out. I think it's a lot of like I said, it is so funny the physics like when they're chasing you and like it's like you got to climb over this thing and under a barbed wire and you're like oh fuck, you know what I mean? Like there are those tense moments, but I just don't feel like Dead by Daylight. I feel like they have just got the execution on this formula so much better, and that it keeps that tense, exhilarating ride the whole time. And you gotta be honest with yourself on these things, like. This game is not for everybody. It's not made for everybody. It's made specifically for horror fans. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that they have something special here. And first 24 hours, this thing had 1 million players. That's the highest player count on any one of these things ever. Obviously, I think Game Pass has something to do with that. But even then, it's finding its community. The subreddit is growing. People are enjoying it. This is going to be one of those games where, Dying Light. Dead by Daylight's like what? year 7, year 8 now.
And it's still like
It's still
a top
going
thing
strong.
on
Yeah,
Twitch that people stream. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I'm and I love every October I fire that
So
game up.
I have a quick question. Is it like, and this could be a mechanic of the games because again, like Nick, I don't really play these at all. Do you think it could be solved better by it's like, okay, you're on these maps and you know in Dead by Daylight that it's like, I'm on the farm, I have to do this. Do you think for these it could kind of be like, okay, there's multiple ways in which I could get out, and it could be like an easy, a medium, and a hard way, but it's like the easy way is less sound, but it takes really long. The hard way is more risk or something like that. Do they have that kind of like elements?
There's player skill trees too. Like I noticed like Leland, he's really strong and he's fast. However, when it comes to searching for like, because you have to like go to a toolbox and search for like a lockpick, right? While I'm searching it, I'm hitting the X button. I can't hit it too fast though, because I'll make too much noise, right? The amount of searching I get done ratioed to how much noise I make is much worse on Leland than if I use Connie, where in a fight, she's going to get fucked up.
But she's
However,
just quiet.
quiet as a mouse, and she's really fast too. So like there's that type of, you can build into a certain character and a certain play style as well. So you might end up being like, okay, I'm playing Leland on the farm versus Leatherface, Sissy, and Hitchhiker.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means for me, if they're going to play the meta, I got to do this, and this. So it might eventually go that way. You don't know yet because this is, you know what I mean? Like,
But there's like one way to escape predominantly.
No. So all right.
Just because, I don't know these games.
So you guys have seen the movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember the big driveway in the end of the movie and the chainsaw dance and everything? She gets picked up by the 18-wheeler, all that. Or in the, you know what I'm talking about, right? That is a big exit in the end of the, however, there's a fucking electric trap at the end of it. So that exit is right there the entire time. But you got to turn off that electricity. How do you do that? You got to go there, hope nobody sees you because it's just out in the fucking open. Follow that line back to wherever the fuse is. Take the fuse out because that's going to alert them when the
fuse in a different spot.
Yes.
Every time.
Yeah.
In a different cabin or wherever.
Yeah.
And then you head out and like but like they could also just turn it back on. Like you can get like I saw a couple guys on TikTok like we outrunning this bitch. And then two of them got over and then they flipped it on the third one like
Real Jurassic Park.
Yeah, there was one where we played where there's on the farm level there's two sections, or the gas station level there's two sections, like there's outer rims of each level. So it's like, okay, we got out of the basement and then we got out of the first section. The second section was, okay, now it's not a lockpick. You need to find the release valve and open this to get out of here. And that's just the direction that we had. Like, that's just how we figured out how to go. So sometimes you're just stuck into playing that certain way. When that happened on the flip side and I was playing as Leatherface, there was a part where the other two killers were chasing the last survivor towards me. And she wasn't a physical assailant. She was a faster one. And she was coming towards me. And I opened up the gate. And when I went to go swing, she ran right by me and went and then closed the gate and locked it behind us. And I had to use my chainsaw and destroy it. And then that's the thing is like, you could get to a point where you're about to escape and then have to go all the way back to the base because there's like wells where you can just jump in the well and you immediately go back to the basement and you're safe.
So it's kind of
the
like
killer's got to go back down the stairs and they're like, it's a game. It's a big game of cat and mouse, obviously, and there's different avenues you can take. I think there's more balance here in the beginning than there was balance at the beginning of Dead by Daylight, but I think that they have at least 6 months to a year to go to really smooth this thing out and to give it like some really good legs.
Wow.
But it's a strong start. It needs
Sounds
more
cool.
levels. It needs more game modes. It looks wonderful. I mean, we were playing a match in the daylight and you're hiding in the bushes as the fucking killers are walking. It is tense. And like your vision starts to get tunnel vision and the controller's vibrating.
You're like holding your breath. Like,
and then somebody will be playing as Leatherface, turn on their microphone and just start breathing
heavy as
like,
fuck.
Just like somebody just fucking around with everybody else. Like some people are trying to be really helpful and friendly, and then there's just one man.
Yeah, exactly. And like and like you need more and since there's multiple killers as opposed to Dead by Daylight with one, you have to have mics because there's more coordination now.
Yeah.
There's like I said, the victims can hold their own a little bit more. And I truthfully, as a fan of the movie, I can't get over how beautiful the environment transfers over. Like it really, like you're fucking out in the sticks.
That's cool.
And at a certain point, I'm like, yo, even if you get off the farm,
what do you do?
might fucking die of like thirst just trying to get away from here, or I don't know, step on a snake. You know what I mean? Like that's a positive. You're in those bushes. What happens if I step on a fucking hornet's nest or something? Now these Texas hornets are not the fuck with. All right, like
there's some. What were those? What were the deadly hornets that was a couple years ago? Do you remember those?
Murder hornets.
Yeah.
Murder hornets.
Moita hornets.
Morty hornets over here.
Morty hornets.
So, but yeah, either way, if you have Game Pass and you want to check this out, go ahead, go for it. It's great. If you're already sold on this, just buy it on Steam and then just keep getting the content as it comes out. If you're hesitant and you don't have Game Pass and you don't want to spend $40, give it a while. Wait for a sale. It's fun, but it's limited fun right now. But I can't wait to see what it's like in a couple months, and I'm definitely going to play some more matches of it.
Cool.
Sooner rather than later. You know,
my 2 cents is somebody who again doesn't play these styles of games. This sounds a lot more interesting than Dead by Daylight to me.
Same.
Why do you think that is?
Maybe it's just the passion that you have.
The passion.
The passion that Pat has for talking about it is a cool way.
It seems like there's more to it than let me run and turn on a generator and run away from the kill. You know what I mean? It feels like it's got more going on.
Oh, this guy's live right now.
So
this is an end of a match. So he does the chainsaw match. He does the chainsaw dance at the end of the match. Okay, so he's playing as a killer right now. He's playing as Sissy in this one.
I could get the dodge to work.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so now he's playing as a victim.
Get my stamina. Oh. Ooh. Okay. I need some bones. Didn't realize I was playing against the hitchhiker. Oh, but luckily there are some bones close. So let's just get to this.
So
spam the button.
You see how see how as
sound.
So he's got it to where she's completely silent while she's picking stuff up. If I'm using a character that's not buffed into that though, this meter will go up, and if I hit it too hard, it will sound off to the rest of the killers where I am. To the whole map.
Just in case. Because I really don't want to get up.
Okay. Okay, yeah. See the tunnel vision as the killers get.
Nice and
so here's
quiet.
like the lock
Nobody's
picking
gonna find
mechanic.
me. I'm the stealthiest there ever was. They're not even going to know that I make it outside, okay? So we just do this.
So he's
A little
playing
bit of
as
this.
Julie,
Come on.
and her buff
Oh, I'm
is
stealthing.
the ultimate escape.
Straight
it
up
grants her
stealthing
immunity from
over
being
here.
tracked by family members.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
They all have like different
It's giving me
specialties.
so much noise, though.
Is the sound?
Just a nice.
Is it like
quiet
if you're
open-
making any noise, it'll kind of alert them, or it's like you have to hit a certain threshold?
No, it's you have to hit a certain threshold.
Do not.
So, but
upset
like, here's the thing: is like, so that's that right there. That's that entrance I was talking about.
Yeah.
See how it's right out there in the open? It's like you can go for it, but that shit is electrified. So
And if you're on the farm, there's like a
where's the
chicken
generator?
that just like
Is it over
a chicken
here,
will
or is
just
it elsewhere?
crow if you walk near it and let everyone know where you
Oh,
are.
God, of
So
course it's on the other side of the map. You know what? Let's use my ability. We're just gonna sprint to it. That way they have less of a chance
You
to
start
see
out
me.
injured?
And then
Mm-hmm.
once
Yeah,
I
'cause
get
you're
the
all-
chance to
you're
go
all
down this
captured.
road, I should be totally safe.
I would watch
Hopefully.
some streams
I
of
don't
this
know
when
where the
people
heck my
playing it.
friends are, but as long as my
see how
that's
there's
one
like
of
a
the
well that you can
I
jump back in.
should be totally
And
fine.
are the maps pretty big, or
I've heard a complaint that
Alright,
the
I should be
maps
able
are
to get
too
my
big,
stamina
and
up.
I kind of, but also at the same time, there's 7 people on the map. You know.
Okay.
That's-
I need
yeah.
some bones.
yeah, there's
Okay.
so it's 7
realize I was
people and
playing
there's
against the
12
hitchhiker.
different characters, so
Oh,
there is
but
a
luckily
good
there
chunk
are
of
some
variety.
bones.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they'll add
Close.
more, and I
So let's
would
just
not be surprised if we get some guest killers in this game too.
Get to this.
Nicolas
I think I can spam the button.
Cage.
Hell yes.
I got
Hell
him.
yes.
On,
I'm
I
gonna
bought
grab
him
two
on
of
Dead by
these
Daylight.
Damn right you
just
did.
He's
in
a
case,
survivor. He's not a killer though.
'cause I really don't.
I was
wanna
really
get
hoping he'd
murdered.
get like
Real
Killer
life
Caster
fan
Troy
of
or
not
something.
dying.
That would be
It's
cool.
like-
So
I'd
we're
be
gonna
into
do a little
that.
bit of this.
And who's this YouTuber?
We
We're
just
just
need
giving
to-
some
Oh, I have no idea. He's
Right
definitely
here.
more popular than us.
Bryce Games,
Bryce Games.
Bryce
check him
McQuaid.
out.
And then we can get to
We were
work.
checking out.
So, all right, that's the
that
other thing. The
jet.
whole point of the killers is you're supposed to collect blood and give it to Grandpa. And because you remember how in the movie they feed Grandpa, or they try to feed him or whatever. Remember, they try to get him to hit the girl with the hammer. So you will feed Grandpa blood, and he will make a noise like "Arr!" and it'll tell. And if you move during that time, tells the killers where you are.
Oh, it's like a
Yeah.
like
My boys are getting
it's
caught.
sonar.
watch.
What are they doing? Please don't jump out the window.
Oh, so you
That's
don't
what I'm
move,
asking right now.
and you know when
I
he
need
gets
you
fed
not to
blood.
jump out
Oh, it
any
says it.
windows.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
And then
disconnected.
as
That's
Grandpa
murdered
gets
right
more
now.
full, like the killers
good.
get more
Stronger.
buffs. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I'm gonna turn
tracking
this jet
becomes
off and then Get
easier.
to work though. I'm feeling
Interesting.
super stealthy at the moment.
Super stealthy at the
Bitches
moment.
Sneaking away. They don't even know. They don't even know I'm
Oh.
outside. Unfortunately, Grandpa is
Ooh,
jumping
Shock
out.
X Volts just got executed.
Yeah, so Grandpa's gonna howl soon.
There we go, there we
Yeah.
go. Let's get
Oh, so she turned off the generator for the fence.
Yeah. Oh, and there we go.
Oh. He sees her. Oh, so this is why he's just like,
use all my stamina. I'm going
Yeah.
oh shit, okay.
Oh shit.
Oh.
You done fucked up.
You done goofed. It's been backtraced.
Ooh.
I thought I could get the dog
Brutal.
to work. 'Twas not meant to be.
Cool. All right.
Damn.
So yeah. So listen, it's a fun one. It's like I said, it's limited fun for right now though. I would give it like a fucking. I'd give it like a 6.5 out of
Yeah.
10. It's fun, but it's only so far right now.
It was
feel-
it was a nice Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I feel these games are kind of like how I classify like Phas, like
Okay,
Phasmaphobia,
yeah.
where it's like, yeah, it's like, you know, it's like
Got
when
that
it
crazy update. Did you see that?
I did.
Yeah.
When like things like that, yeah. When things like that happen, you're like, oh shit, okay, and then you play it for like 2 days with all your buds.
And it's
'cause-
like, okay, I'm done
it's
with
like,
this
okay.
for a year.
yeah,
Well, that was
which
a-
is fine.
Well,
like that, it serves its
that
purpose.
surprised me. You guys were the ones that were like, I think we're burned out on Phasmophobia. I was like, okay, what's next? Sons of the Forest. I think we're all forced out. And now somehow I ended up back in Rust.
Yeah,
That's
it
a
goes in
shock.
it goes in phases.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait. I need to know about Phasmophobia update.
Yeah, Phasmophobia got an update.
What's the big update? That's a deep
Breaking news. Press any key. Episode 125.
This is the
Surprise segment.
okay. So
Halloween's come early.
a new
this
leveling
year.
a new leveling system has been added with new rates of progression, new unlocks, and a prestige system. Thank you, Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Um,
Circa 2012.
All of them.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the new one got announced.
No.
It's the first Treyarch one, or whichever. It's the first one,
opposite, yeah.
the opposite, to have its own zombies, and everyone's like, "Oh no, they're gonna fuck this up." So, all current players have been reset to Prestige 1 level 1. New players, however, will be Prestige 0 level 1. So we already Prestige once,
Hell
boys.
yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
Um,
So that legacy
there's a
shit.
legacy badge upon launching in the game. First updating it, you will be presented with a new screen to choose a unique badge. Once you've made your choice, it is unchangeable, so choose carefully. Upgrades. Each equipment now has 3 tiers, increasing equipment count from 22 to 60. Tier costs a large sum of the money to unlock, but each tier will cost the same to bring in a contract. To upgrade a piece of equipment, reach the required level, go to the shop, press on any item's UI at the title screen, and then hit upgrade. So then once you upgrade it in your shop, you can
You
just
get it
keep
good, yeah.
you can just keep buying that level. They've renamed things to fingerprint evidence to ultraviolet, because it's not just fingerprints anymore.
Just
Footsteps.
semen everywhere. Just
Ooh.
ectoplasm.
spooky ghosts.
Footsteps you no longer need photos of. It's just footsteps, or footprints rather. Candles and lanterns are firelight. Matches and lighters are igniters. Smudge sticks are incense. Camcorders and movie camera is the video camera. Glow sticks and UV torches are the UV light. Sanity drink, the pills and shots are just the sanity medication now. Head-mounted camera, flashlight, and goggles are now classified as headgear. And the weak or strong flashlight they did away with. It's just as flashlight now. There's
Good.
just no point.
They should have. They
DOTS.
They should get a sponsorship from like, you know, a drug company and just put like Prozac in there instead of like the sanity pill.
God,
I thought you were gonna say like Home Depot or like one of the like.
I thought you were gonna say like Energizer, like for batteries
good.
or
I
something.
like that.
No, Home Depot, and it's just as the ghost is getting closer, you just hear bum bam bam bum bam bum bam during a hunt.
DOTS were decided to be non-interactive evidence types, so they have been completely reworked. Instead of being a clone of the ghost that gets spawned, it is revealed with DOTS. The following will now happen: you will no longer get duplicate DOTS ghosts. A dots triggered during event hunts or other interactions. Ghosts with dots evidence can now enter a short dot state where they are temporarily visible with infrared lights. During this time, they will wander towards the nearest player before disappearing if the player is in the same room. Dots ghost photos now count on normal ghost photos.
Sponsored by Dots Frozen Ice Cream.
So yeah, it sounds like we're gonna jump back into this. So it
Sounds like October's right around
sounds
the corner.
like sounds like it. All right. Anyway,
there's so many things that they like. Those are good overhauls, but there's so many other things that they could do to make the game more.
You saw all of like the tarot cards and mirror and all the shit like that.
No, but
check out some of like the latest things. They've added a lot of functionality.
For me, it's more of there's things that you could do to make the longevity of how long I play the game. Whereas that type of stuff, it's like the actual experience is better, but I'm not going to be playing for any longer.
Yeah, I think, and it's because I just like roguelike games. I think if they added a type of roguelike mechanic with the upgrade thing, makes a lot of sense for me, because it's basically structured like that in a way where you play these things and then you come back to a hub and then you use your points from that map to upgrade different things. If they keep going with that direction, yeah, I'd love it. I'd love it so much more. Give me roguelike games.
okay. All right. Well, you guys ready?
We're
Ready for what, Pat?
We are creating the ultimate 2013 video game tier list. So we've done this episode 2 times before. We did did you see what just came up on my screen?
I didn't see what it was, but I saw it popped up.
Okay. We did 2 episodes before this. The first one was games from 2011, which everyone was 2 you love, 1 you hate. That was the old format. And then we did 2012. And we always talked about how we couldn't wait to do 2013 because 2013 was an absolute massive year. And of course, as we were saying before, we were just running to the movies every fucking weekend this year. So I'm so glad that we are finally talking about 1, video games in general, and 2, creating this tier list of games from 2013. Now, I've gone ahead and I've pulled some general data about every single one of these games, and we're going to go ahead and rank them. Now, there is a didn't play section,
Which is good.
which is good because I know that's going to be helpful for you guys. Because I have played quite a lot of these, obviously.
I feel like any of the games that you didn't play, Mike probably did.
I was
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
say most
yeah.
of that. I haven't played Guacamelee, but you know. Let's see.
So let's get started, huh? You ready?
Uh-huh.
All right, so let's go. First up is Lost Planet 3. So, are you guys familiar with the Lost Planet series?
Wait. Hold on. Is there no S?
No,
We don't need
What
an
the
S.
we don't need an S.
A tier, baby. This is school rules.
They're grading off a 4.0 average.
School rules.
Okay.
School rule. I got a didn't play in half of my classes.
Does not get along with others. So, Lost Planet 1, I really liked. Never played the second one, and I did not play the third one. So already we're starting off
What
with a
is
didn't
Lost
play.
Planet?
It's a Capcom.
Ask us if we played it.
You didn't
Nikki,
play
did you
Lost
play
Planet.
this game?
No.
Lost Planet is a game series about basically a new ice age on Earth, lots of monsters, and the ice age is caused by these weird monsters. I'm pretty sure. I could be getting this totally wrong. Either way, though.
These are how Pat remembers these games from 10 years ago.
Either way, though, it was a good game, and it was fun to shoot all the monsters in the glowy bit and activate progression.
And it was like
Points.
a Horizon.
It was a
kind of
third-player
like-
shooter, like you went
Yeah.
into and it was all covered in snow.
Okay.
So, next up we have what is this one?
Some metal band.
The Dragon's Crown. Dragon's Crown. So, once again, this was another one I didn't play. However, this game
This next one.
did apparently receive generally favorable reviews with Metacritic scores around 80 for all the different platforms.
All right. So Dragon's Crown is a action RPG.
Sounds like something I'd like.
Yeah, but I don't know actually because
It's about a dragon who rules over an empire with
it's
an
a
iron
dragon
fist.
with the crown. I mean, there's this there's apparently this thick witch lady that's
This
on a
thick
lot
mommy.
of the
Woo!
Aaron Fitzgerald.
Aaron Fitzgerald if you're nasty.
You got a picture of Aaron
I think
Fitzgerald?
actually just most of these things were just like,
Yeah.
this is one of those games that was a JRPG that
Aaron
okay.
Fitzgerald.
that's not her.
The
I don't
Canadian
know.
voice
Do,
actress.
Do Dragon or what the fuck is it? Dragon's
Dragon Ball.
Crown. Dragon's Crown. There you go.
Oh, there she is.
There she is.
I think she's just the voice actress of the character.
Oh, the voice of the sorceress? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because
Okay.
as you can see, when you type in Erin Fitzgerald, you get a voice actress
Yeah.
who seems to be
Oh,
credited
she was
with
also
Dracula.
she was Naz. She was
She was the one of the Canker
One of the
sisters,
Canker sisters.
and I don't know the rest of them. Anyway, Batman Arkham Origins.
I mean, this is a game that I don't think any of us played, so we can just throw that.
Yeah,
in.
we can just skip right
You
over
know,
this.
I'm gonna shock everybody. That's where it goes.
Hey man, I was gonna.
Origins,
if you
right?
were gonna put that in A, I was gonna fight you on it because they can't all be A's.
No, they can't. And truthfully, the thing is that like this one is good, but it's not. Nobody. This was the one that's like, they did Arkham Asylum, they did Arkham City. WB wanted a game out in 2 years, and they were like, and Rocksteady said, "Well, we can't do that." So they took the license and they went to WB Montreal, and they said, "Give us a Batman game that's an origin story for this Batman character, and we'll release it as a prequel in the 2 years between Arkham City and Arkham Knight." So they still had a Batman game coming out, and it also filled in the story, but it also didn't break like canon or the timeline or anything. And I think a lot of people were down on this when it came out because it really was just more of the same. But if you're into it, it was really great. And truthfully, even if the other 3 games were on the list, I would probably put this as B as well.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like I said, it didn't innovate. It was just something that tied you over until Arkham Knight came out.
It was a snack.
Yeah, and that being said, though, I think this one it ties for Arkham City for the best narrative. It's about, and this one is actually what it's about.
This one, it's when Thomas and Martha Wayne get shot.
They do
pearls
everything
fall on
right.
the ground,
and they get indicted. Now, Black Mask hires 8 assassins to kill Batman on
Okay, what are
Christmas
their
Eve.
names?
They are Bane,
Sleepy, Dopey, Doc,
Shady,
Baney.
the Bane, Firefly, Viper, I think her name is.
Played by Ella Fitzgerald.
Erin Fitzgerald. There's a bunch of
Go Jerry
Executioner,
and Rumple Teaser.
Executioner, Electrocutioner,
Colgate Happy Hour.
yeah, Electrocutioner, the Penguin, Deadshot, the Deadshot,
Tiny Dinky
Deadshot,
Daffy.
Pancake by a
and
dump truck.
who's the one? Deathstroke. That Deathstroke has one of the craziest boss fights in the game, and yeah, so I'd give it a B.
Batman Origins is a B tier.
Yes, B tier for sure.
Batman.
B
All
for
right,
Batman.
ready for this one,
Batman.
boys?
B for Battlefield.
That's
Come on. It's either this or Battlefield 3 that gets A.
yeah. It's Battlefield 3 for me that gets A, but I mean, you know, we're like,
I mean, if it was Bad Company 2, it'd obviously be
yeah,
A.
we're gonna do for this year, and I'm not gonna compare it. And like, I know you kind of did that for Arkham, or I'm
Yeah,
sorry
yeah,
for
yeah.
Batman, but sure, I'll give
as far
Battlefield
as this
4.
one is concerned, it's an A.
What I also want to establish early on, probably should have said a few minutes ago, I do reserve the right for us to come back and revisit because this is all relative. We're not saying that these games, in the grand scheme of things, it's relative to the other games on this list.
Yeah.
So if we do want to move Battlefield around later, we can do that.
This is how we feel today on August 20th,
All right.
in the year of the Lord,
Next one.
2023.
Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds.
I love this game.
It's
That's
going
an A
into
for
A.
me.
Yeah,
Like,
there's no doubt.
I've never played any of the Zelda games, but I never hear about this title.
A Link Between Worlds.
you hear about A Link to the Past a lot.
I hear about Ocarina of Time all the time.
Okay, so there's like all of these games. This one came out on DS.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, this is the 3DS
This is the
era.
3DS one. They're all just good. I really personally love like all of the GBA type, like the Game Boy Advance Zelda games and everything. That's
Minish
basically
Cap
the
and
Minish Cap,
Four
the
Swords.
4 Swords, the like
Skyward
Seasons
Sword, what is
and
that one?
Ages
I know
or
that
whatever.
one.
That's the
That's
Wii.
that's for
Wii.
GameCube and Wii, right?
No, Wii and Switch.
Wii
They
and
ported it
Switch,
to
yeah.
the Switch.
This one, I mean, like these are all really cool. I think they're really nice and fun. What they do really well, and most of the Zelda games end up doing this, is whatever Nintendo system comes out, generally you have a Zelda game as kind of like, I don't want to say a staple of the system, but they really make use of the functionality and the tech of that system.
They designed the game around
Yeah.
the platform.
Yeah.
They create the physics of the world first, and they're like, let's see how this pans
And
out.
then they see how we can throw Zelda into it. And I mean, these are all fun. They're all real straightforward. They're not like, they're maybe like, 8 to 10 hour games most of the time. They're just kind of more of what you love.
Yeah. All right. Saints Row 4. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that on a D.
I'm going back to the comparative. Saints Row 3, fucking A+.
Okay. I think Saints Row 1 is my favorite. Do you know where I played Saints Row 4? At your house when you lived with Nick Timoneri, and he had this on PS4. Yeah, I was just there one
so
afternoon,
weird.
and I played it, and I remember thinking, "What? Wow, this franchise is dog shit." Now.
This was the game that I loved Saints Row 3, and I had played that. The third. Thank you. I had played that in college because that came out freshman year.
Saints Row 3, I think, was freshman year.
I think. It came out and I loved it. Like I remember just like good memories of playing that like on 360, like in our dorm rooms.
Yeah.
And I was so excited for this because they had talked about beefing things out, expanding it. It's going to be wackier. It's going to be crazier. And I think in the time that it went from freshman to senior,
we were out of
college. I was like, wow, there's a lot of growing up.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is
Did
dog
I change
shit.
or did the game?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Who do I hate, the player or the game?
Yeah.
So what? So this is safely in D, Mike, or would you put it in F?
I mean, for me, like I wouldn't play this game again.
I don't think it's necessarily like bad. But
F is
Well, I'm just
unplayable.
looking at the other
Yeah.
games that are on this list, and I'm wondering if there's anything else that compares to this one in its badness.
Yeah, well, we'll
You know,
get there.
we'll
like
come
you
back.
said,
We'll
we
come
can
back.
always
Yeah.
revisit.
Yes.
Okay. Ready for
Just
this?
planting seeds.
All right. So next one is Injustice: Gods Among Us.
That's a B.
That's a B. It's a solid B.
Wow, B's for Batman.
It's
all
the
across
best
the
B
board.
you're gonna get.
Are you familiar with this game?
I know about this because I'm friends with Pat.
Have you
never
seen
played.
the story? Have you like watched the YouTube
Is this
story
where they all
of this game?
turn bad?
Superman.
3 sentences. Can you tell
Superman
Yes.
bad.
Superman. Okay, here we go. The Joker tricks Superman into killing Lois, so Superman turns bad and kills the Joker, and then decides he's just gonna kill that. He's gonna rule with an iron fist, and that
basically
causes,
what Bruce Wayne was Lex Luthor was worried about the whole time?
yes. So then there becomes a great schism in the Justice League, and Batman leads a certain amount of heroes versus Superman, who leads a bunch of defectors, and they punch for a bit and they figure it out.
And in one sentence, it's just Civil War.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the second one a lot better, so that's
Yeah.
why the one with like the Brainiac invasion. It's
Yeah.
like, can we trust Superman? You know what I mean? So
This is really cool. This was one of the ones that it's a fighting game. It's just like a Street Fighter.
it's made by NetherRealm,
Yeah.
so like it's good.
It's a great
It's
fighting
just I'm
game.
not super into fighting games.
I'm not really into them, so I won't play it. My cousin used to play this game all the time, and I watched him play it like a ton.
Yeah.
And then this is one of the games too. Like a couple of years ago, like I had revisited just watching basically all of the cutscenes for the different stories, and I'm like, that's a great like YouTube hole to just take yourself down one night. That's
Put
really
yourself in a K-hole.
Yeah,
and go
yeah.
down a YouTube hole.
essentially.
Yeah. All right.
But it's good, man. It's a great one.
War Thunder, baby. I think War Thunder is our first C.
I don't know what this is.
War
It sounds
Thunder's
like a
been
mobile
around.
game.
It is. It's one of those things where it's like on every platform.
Can I interrupt?
What?
It's just
Breaking news.
We talked breaking news. I saw. We remember we were talking about Liz. You remember we were talking about the Skarsgårds and who would make a better Lex Luthor?
Yes.
Just because we were talking about DC
Gustav?
stuff. Not Gustav.
Oh.
Although he is. Was he
He's bald, yeah.
He is bald. There's another name in the mix that I really think would be a great pick, and it's Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny. And I'm just like, that would be so fucking amazing to have him as Lex Luthor.
But he just shaved his head for that BlackBerry role.
Yeah, yeah. And he's like,
and he was really
a
nervous.
Crazy
yeah.
executive.
He was really nervous about it growing back because he's like 50 or something
Yeah.
now.
He's the wrong age, but I would still love it.
Yeah.
All right, Liz, you want to take
Wait,
this
no,
one?
no, War Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
So War Thunder sounds like I'm like 30 seconds into a YouTube video, and
World
the
of
person's,
Tanks.
the person's given their intro, and they're like, you know what else is great? War Thunder.
War Thunder is a free-to-play, a vehicular combative, multiplayer video game developed by Gaijin Entertainment. It was announced in 2011, first released in 2012 as an open beta, and then was released in 2013 worldwide to Windows, Mac OS, Linux, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X,
Everywhere.
and Series X, Oculus, and Vive.
This shit is written like you're trying to hit a word count on an essay.
Yeah.
It is a vehicular interactive video game.
So, yeah, then there's been some spin-offs. But anyway, this is the original War Thunder.
And you played it.
And yeah, it has survived this long, and I have played it with Ken before, and it's okay. You know, it's no Battle
War
Stations
Thunder.
Midway,
Okay.
but it's
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Is
War
it better than
Thunder.
World of Tanks?
I don't know, man.
I don't
Let's
know.
not
World of
open
Tanks
that
is
up
all right.
because World of Tanks, if you're watching,
Yeah.
we're currently
We're looking for
awaiting
sponsors.
sponsors.
So, you ready for this one?
I want Liz to play.
Yeah,
Pikmin.
Pikmin 3. Liz, where are we putting
So,
Pikmin 3?
Wait, Liz, you want to
Pikmin
give a little Pikmin background of
Yes.
your?
So Pikmin 3 originally came out for the Wii U, which is like a freaky weird one. I transparently have only played this on the Switch, so I only know it as Switch gameplay, so I can't attest to how good it was in 2013. But it is a fabulous, fabulous game. I want to say A because it's like the one contribution I have to this list.
Compared to the other, because you've just played through.
I've just played all
the
of them
Pikmin.
in order.
And the world of Pikmin. How does this?
Yeah,
stack
where
up?
what is your Pikmin tier list?
Pikmin tier list is this is probably gonna be controversial. Is probably 4, 3, 1, 2. 2 was an
Okay.
absolute nightmare. So this came out 9 years after 2, and 2 is very, very good. It is just aggressively harder than the first one.
Yeah.
So Pikmin 3, they were like, we need to probably tone this down a little bit. But the switch in graphics from Pikmin 2 to 3 is just, it is a gorgeous game. I really would.
sublime.
I believe Nintendo decided to do HD on the Wii U. They're like, hey, 1080's all right. Try it out.
It's
And they stayed with that. For
No, because the Switch only does 900.
It does. It sticks to the Pikmin principles. You get 2 new Pikmin types in this. You get
Pikmin
rock.
principles. Thou shall not covet another Pikmin's pick hoe.
You get a whole new
Pick your
team.
hoe once.
You get a whole new team. You're finding fruit so that you can survive and bring it back to your home planet. Then Louie steals all your juice, and if you don't know,
Is that the dog?
Now you know.
no,
Now you know.
that's Ochi. Louie
we
is
stand Ochi.
we do stand Ochi. Louie is your coworker in Pikmin 2, and then he turns out to just be like the biggest piece of shit.
Just like
Every other
He steals a car. He
No.
wears a diaper. He shits his pants.
He does.
He
He
drives it
steals-
off into the desert.
he
I think you
steals
know
your
what I'm
juice.
referencing.
You know where I'm at, don't you?
You know what I'm talking about right now. All right, so
Pat, did
where
you play
Liz?
Pikmin?
Yeah, I did play Pikmin.
Okay.
The only Pikmin game I haven't played is Pikmin 4.
Same. Pikmin 3
well,
is my
All right,
also
so,
top Pikmin
Liz,
game.
You said that you want to put it in an A.
Yes.
Because you haven't played very many of the games. Now I'm going to throw it over to very many of these games.
Yeah.
Pat, having played almost all of these, where would you?
I would put this. I think Pikmin 1 and 2 are A experiences, and I think this game is better than the both of those. So I would
Okay,
put this
well,
in A as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, my tier is I haven't played 4 yet either. Is 3, 1, 2.
Yeah, I haven't played 4
I
yet
think that's
either.
basically everybody's like
Okay.
general consensus.
Yeah, because
These-
2 is like, what the fuck?
yeah, these games aren't like, you're not gonna be divisive as to like what is the better one or not. It's pretty.
I just
Yeah.
was not
So-
expecting this one to shoot up to A level.
It's
the
a
next,
fantastic.
Dude,
It's
I,
a-
honestly,
Don't-
like, dude, it's like Nintendo's take on a real-time strategy game.
Yeah.
I think you would really enjoy it. Somebody who likes to
you
use their
would.
noggin
It
and
looks
everything.
interesting.
Yeah.
You would, especially like a City Skylines
Yeah.
type, like.
Oh yeah.
You'd be into it.
All right. So this one's called Don't Starve.
Don't Starve is great. Have
Okay.
you played this game?
I've seen gameplay of it and it looks fun.
So Don't Starve, fine by itself. Don't Starve together is what you want to play because you want to play this game with friends. It's basically a top-down isometric, really difficult survival game where you're kind of like going through
You're a
this
little Tim
environment.
Burton kid.
Yeah, you're a little weird Tim Burton dude.
Little corpse bride running around.
Basically. And there are times of like it's day and night. There are different seasons, and you can't be in the dark, otherwise you die. This is one of those like painfully difficult games to play, and it throws you into it knowing nothing. So for me, Don't Starve is a B.
Okay.
Don't I'm
That lines up with what I read. So
like it's borderline C only because Don't Starve together is how this game should be played.
yeah.
But
I think we could put that Don't Starve Together in A, and that would make this a B.
Okay.
Unless you want to put it in C.
No.
We are very heavy stacked to this top, and I don't think it's changing anytime soon.
It'll
'Cause
change.
what do we got next, Pat?
Oh, baby.
I don't know how the
Oh, boy!
the government are all Nazis. Just gonna go ahead and put it. Yeah, I'm gonna put it. Yeah.
Can you make a new tier for that?
Yeah.
mean,
I think
honestly.
if there was an S tier,
Yeah.
this would be it.
It
It obviously
listeners.
stands up amongst the rest of them. If we're talking about The Last of Us right now, not The Last of Us Part 1,
Just The Last of Us.
just The Last of Us. Yeah,
It's like when A New Hope was just Star Wars.
I remember when we first met, we watched that. Remember we watched Planet Earth like after the
Yes.
Echoplex or whatever?
That was after a New Year's party.
Oh God.
That was
Anyway.
that
Yeah,
one where I
yeah.
pushed you in a puddle and you fell.
Yes, yeah, I'm very glad that you said that like that because that is what happened.
Well, you were
you
being
were-
a real piece of shit.
Like,
And
you're
it was
like, we're
All
off
right,
balance.
No.
and fell.
I will accept I was being a drunken asshole. I was not being a piece of shit. Okay, there is
Yeah, well-
two different tiers to that.
Pat, I've got about a dozen people who would corroborate my version of this story.
Look, if you drunken asshole, you don't push. Piece
Yeah.
of shit, you push. And you got pushed.
So what does it say? It
says The Last of Us is
but
A
I
tier.
remember in
the
the
next
morning.
day we all woke up. Whatever Joe's mom made a big dish of Portuguese food, and we
It was-
all got stoned and watched Planet Earth.
and during it and Nick just goes, "Oh, Pat, Last of Us," like that because they're doing they use the same footage of like the
ants.
infection and the ants. They're my ants. so
Blue Beetle?
and then Nick, you told me this wild story that you said your friend came to you and was like, I don't know who this is. I might actually know this person now. You said that your friend said, "Hey, Nick, can I borrow your PS3 to play this game called The Last of Us?"
Kevin
And when
Foley.
Kevin Foley. And when I'm done, I will just give you the game.
Yep,
and you're
yep.
like, okay, sure. And
Free game.
the first time I played The Last of Us was was it the following year? It might have been 2 years after that. I had played it, but I had never played it the full way through because I didn't have a PS3. Nick Timoneri had a PS4 at our house, and he had this game. And I was part-time because I did not have the money to go full-time. So I had lots of time to kill in between work and classes. So the first week of senior year, I just destroyed this game. And I was like, fuck, now I see why Nick fucking let down his PlayStation for this shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that was great because he was like hardcore Xbox guy.
Yeah.
Forever. And then this exclusive came out. He goes, I need your PlayStation. I need it.
I require this. So, but yeah, anyway, so The Last of Us. If there was an S tier, this would go in it. However, it's number one in the A tier. Everything else moves around that
We
now.
will edit when we post this for social. We will edit it to have an S tier.
Yeah. So then, next we have Tomb Raider 2013. Have you guys played this?
I played this one.
I played this
not.
as well. I think this game is solid, but I think the sequels obviously are better. Being the most recent one, I believe, was 2019's Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which actually doesn't work unless you install the drivers that came out
Of course.
with that game. How fucking wild.
Great.
I would put this as like a C tier.
Makes
Honestly,
sense.
it'd be like a low B, high C because it is fun.
I see.
And
I see.
I did enjoy it. The movie adaptation actually wasn't awful either. But even then, it's just like, man, like it just didn't get there until the next one. You know what I mean?
I'd throw it as a low. Like,
You know, when you're on the fucking side of a mountain and shit. Like,
that's the thing. And I know, again, we're jumping back and forth between comparing shit and not, but I think that's a good example of like what you could have done with this game off the bat
yeah.
that they kind of failed to do.
Yeah, and you want to know what? It's one of those things where it's like there was Indiana Jones, and then there was Tomb Raider, and then there was Tomb Raider was the riff on Indiana Jones, and then Uncharted came along, which was the riff on Tomb Raider, and then Tomb Raider, once Uncharted finished, came back, and so it's like,
And then Just Cause
and it's
happened.
and it was just one of those things where it's like, Nathan Drake does this better now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I didn't really feel like until the Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the third one in this trilogy came out, that it really took off and was awesome.
Yeah, these were an attempt to get it back into like the zeitgeist in that way, and I feel it tried to take.
It came close.
It came close, and I feel like they took a lot of the way that I feel that game plays is very Resident Evil-y almost.
This game?
I
don't think so.
Not in like gameplay, but almost in like some kind of like I don't know tenor about it. Maybe it might be one of the other ones I'm thinking of, but it's not like.
I'm just sitting here thinking. Have you ever played a Resident Evil game?
Never played a single Resident Evil game. No, but it's in like I think it tried to take that kind of I want to say serious-ishness tone of it, like like that version of exploration and adventure versus like an Uncharted, which is more fantastical.
Right? Yeah, no, it makes sense. Call of Duty Ghosts.
Yeah, Tomb Raider goes in C.
Yes. Call of Duty Ghosts, we're just going to go ahead and put that right there.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
Okay, so this
I've never even heard of this.
This is the lowest point in Call of Duty series. This was their first foray into next gen, and
does this officially justify Saints Row 4 being in D?
Probably.
So here's the thing. I don't think this is necessarily a bad game. I think this game is a giant missed opportunity. First of all, let's just get into the meat potatoes of it. They got rid of zombies for this. They did another mode called extraction mode.
Oh, that's why I didn't buy this game.
Yeah. They got a mode called extraction mode, which was you fought off an alien invasion instead of zombies.
It sounds like a cool premise, actually.
It was all right, but it was one of those things where you couldn't bring back you couldn't bring what's it called?
Revive.
You couldn't just build that community around it because it was it was type of point A to point B. It wasn't like let's see how high we can get this rounds and all these Easter eggs and everything, right?
Yeah.
The biggest problem here though that they had was one, this was rushed out the door obviously to get to next gen for the first year of like Call of Duty's on Xbox One or on PS4, because that's how long ago those consoles came out. More specifically, though, the biggest problem here was the multiplayer, which was very lackluster because all the buildings looked the same. There was no unique maps. It was just even the UI was too fucking weird. The story mode in this I find to be interesting, but very poor execution. Specifically, all the Latin America countries band together and they call themselves the Federation.
They call themselves the
and
Ghost
they basically
Protocol.
they basically start to invade the United States from the south up, and that's where the front line is in America. And there's these cities that are occupied by the Federation forces.
Occupado.
What are the Federation? We don't know. Why are they doing what they do? Who gives a fuck? We find out halfway through that the reason that the ghosts are being hunted specifically by the Federation is because the Federation kidnapped a former ghost. And, it's one of those things where it's like the reveal is your dad's best friend and your dad was a ghost. And now you're a ghost.
Classic Fallout reveal.
Yeah. And the funniest part about it, like, hold on, I think it's,
the funniest part is that being a ghost, is in your lineage. And if your dad's a ghost, then you're going to be a ghost.
You're half ghost.
You're half ghost. Well, if your mom was a full ghost.
Then you're full ghost. But your dad doesn't count.
Fuck your dad. These all things are daddy as a ghost. Like
Ghost dad story.
Here we go. He's going through
Bill
walls.
Cosby.
They had Danny Phantom come in here just...
I wish I could find the clip, but it's one of those things where he's like, it's like a shocking reveal, like, Dad, you're a fucking ghost. It's just like him, like like I said, they rushed it out the door.
Yeah.
The performance is just
for context, what is a ghost in the context
an
of this
elite,
game?
the most elite fighting force. And he's just like,
It's a
Dad,
specter of
Dad.
sorts.
Oh.
you're a ghost. I never knew. That was the delivery.
Ew.
What I find to be fascinating about this game is the ending, though. The end of the game, you and your brother take on the final villain in a train. The train is one of these suspended car trains that goes over the sides of mountains and stuff.
A gondola,
it takes place in the
kinda?
future, so
I understand.
Like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
train
upside
heist
down.
in the Han Solo movie.
yes.
Okay.
The train is on top of the train is underneath the track.
Yes.
It hangs underneath it.
Yes.
Kind of like that new train system they opened up in Tokyo recently. You know that one
Or
that
the
goes
one
all
in
around
the
city?
Han Solo movie.
Yes,
like
yes,
I
yes.
mentioned
Yeah.
The
earlier.
Han
Yeah.
Solo train.
So you end up fucking this guy up. The train car falls off the track. It sinks to the bottom of the bay or whatever you're in. And now it's like you're in an air bubble. And like you have to like shoot him and then the bullet hits the thing and the water comes in. And at the end of the map, I mean, at the end of the level, your legs are fucked up, and your brother. I'm pretty sure, I don't want to say he's paralyzed, but he's just immobile at this moment. Like, he's just too fucked up. And you think that you've killed Rourke, who is the villain. At the very last minute, like when you go to get up to leave, Rourke just fucking black bags you real quick. And it's explained earlier in the campaign that Rourke was put in a hole by the Federation and was covered in like this bamboo trap or whatever. And that through that solace, his mind was warped, and he eventually trained with the Federation to be like this crazy animal, like terrorist guy. And at the very end of the game, when the credits roll, it comes back and you see from a first person perspective, you're looking up at a hole and the bamboo is over you now. And now you're,
Oh, cool.
So I would have liked to have seen where that would, but you could just tell this was a rush job. So for me, this game is an F, and it should stay there.
Job.
So
Pat, can you do me a favor and full screen the screen?
Real.
So, then we have what is it?
We have Hulk Hogan coming here.
Brothers.
I saw this, and for a second I thought it was
A Tale of Two Sons. I haven't played this. You play this?
A Way Out, where you play as the two escaped prisoners.
No.
I have not played this. It looks like it's kind of trash.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this in the didn't play.
Oh, it's got. Okay. So
Mike
It's
wants
got
to
good
call it
reviews.
trash, even though none of us. Play.
I literally, I'm like, this looks like it's trash just because it looks like a weird knockoff Fable thing. But all of the reviews are really good.
Yeah, it's got good reviews. I just haven't played it
on Steam. It's about an 8.2 on IGN and IMDb.
So then we have Rayman Legends.
Oh, but it's from it's from a Swedish film director. His brothers.
Oh, this is from Gustav Skarsgård.
I have not played Rayman Legends.
I played the
earlier
first.
Rayman.
I played earlier Rayman. I didn't play this one though. I did not play this Final Fantasy.
It's Final Fantasy.
I forget what it is. Final Fantasy. It's some weird fucking name, dude.
Lightning
Returns.
Returns.
Lightning Returns. Yeah, I did
Did you
not
play that one?
Yeah.
I thought so.
All right, so then we have Sonic Lost World. Dude, every Sonic game has been a D for since
Besides Sonic Adventure 2
Sonic
or whatever.
Adventure 2
Yeah.
all the way up to Sonic Frontiers have been nothing but straight Ds the
Yeah.
entire time.
What was the one that
Unfortunately.
you played recently? That
Sonic
you enjoyed?
Frontiers.
Okay.
It was
Mine is the Sonic fan game that came out. Which
Liz, did you play the Sonic Murder Mystery too?
I did, yeah.
that one.
Liz, that was one of Steve's highest downloaded games at one point.
It was free.
It was an April Fool's joke by Sega. They did a Sonic murder mystery, and I was like, "Well, who's dead?" She goes, "Sonic."
Sonic died.
You gotta find out who killed Sonic.
I bet it
No,
was
did you wait?
Knuckles.
I don't know if you guys actually looked into it. It's
No.
Amy is hosting a murder mystery train for her birthday.
Why would
That's
she
the
do that?
premise. So she's like, Sonic's gonna be dead, and you have to find out like who killed him.
And how was it, Liz?
Was it good?
I'm
I'll
sorry.
take that as a no.
It was fine. I really don't love dialogue. There's like sometimes games have too much
You're
dialogue.
with the right person, Liz.
This is a telltale game.
You attribute this to me too much, goddammit, and I will say it once more. I will play the game once, I will watch all the cutscenes, and I will enjoy it. But as soon as I'm going back for New Game Plus, I am skipping all that shit. I want to play the game.
I know. It's
Except
just
if it's like
fun.
God of War.
What was that game that we played that was like you built a little like Nordic house and there was a training
Valheim.
dojo? You really wanted to fucking cheese the shit out of that one on the first try.
Yeah, but that's not
Well,
skipping
that's
the
fine.
cutscenes.
That's a game that's in beta, so or that
That's
was in
true.
beta that we were playing,
Yeah.
it, right? Those are meant to be.
But I was
broken.
exploiting the meta. Like
Yeah.
they put, I mean, they have since moved a lot of that stuff around, but that was the meta at the time. I'm trying to think what was the only game that I have ever played twice and I have never skipped the cutscenes was Red
God
Dead
of War.
was yes, and Red Dead Redemption 2, because as I was like going to hit the skip, I was like, oh no, these characters,
Yeah,
I
they're
just
too
I just
good.
want to watch what the fuck is going on.
Run
They had us.
DMC.
They had us in the first half. We'll just get a. This is DMC.
Devil May Cry.
It was. I don't think it's a remake. I think it's just like a different take because they came out with Devil May Cry 5 shortly after this, or
Yeah.
not shortly.
I don't
but
know.
At least it was the next.
I don't know where
series.
this one is. Is it? What is this? Just Devil May Cry?
I think this is just like a reboot. Like they tried to do like a different take, and everyone was like, "Okay, the game is fun, but this is not Devil May Cry." Like I do not.
Yeah.
No thanks.
These are fun games.
fun beat 'em up hack and slash
Combo,
games. Yeah.
like, kind of like JRPG, but also not.
Do you know how
like-
they came into existence?
Is it Castlevania
No,
inspired?
good
or-
guess. But the first build of Resident Evil 4 was actually such a far departure from what they wanted that they just turned it into another game series.
Oh, okay.
Devil May Cry. That's literally what it was.
Been successful.
All right, Killzone Shadows Fall. I'm going to go ahead and give this a D. I know that you guys haven't played. This was a PS4 launch title. They haven't made a Killzone game since, and I think this is the reason why. There was 3 Killzone games prior to this, I believe. Killzone 1, 2, and was there a name for it? I forget. Either way, I played the original 2 for PS2. They were fun first-person shooters. Never played the third one. I didn't have a PS4 on launch. I only got it in 2018, which is wild to think about. It was only 2 years before the PS5. And I picked this up thinking, whatever, I'll try it out. And it aged horribly. Like, it's just not even close to being what...
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, and it's not even like one of those things where it's first person and it shoots, but it's not really a first person shooter. It's like they really went for a first person shooter, and it just doesn't...
It just crumbled?
Yeah, it just didn't make it.
Oh, no.
But it's a fun... This is another game where I think it has an interesting premise, The whole... it's set in the future. There is there's a peaceful... republic, and then there is
a federation and ghosts.
Yeah. And you're trapped in a K-hole, and
A bamboo K-hole.
a bamboo K-hole, and you can't get out.
Okay.
So,
Papers,
fun.
Please. Papers,
Okay.
please.
You know what? I was gonna say I've never played Papers, Please, but I bet Mike loves this.
Papers,
game.
Please is
'Cause I've
$100%
This
seen
game
A.
is A. It should basically be behind Last of
I
Us.
wouldn't disagree with that, honestly.
Oh, my God.
Over Zelda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
by far. This game it looks like it's an NES game, and all you do is just check documents of
At a
people
border.
at a border coming into the country and verify information, and it's consistent.
So you're ICE.
Yeah, different.
You're-
No, don't take this from us.
Your border patrol.
Your border patrol, and like it's like
But
you
it's
know
also
it's a
like
post like Russian
yeah,
kind of
Soviet Union. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's
I also
great.
like
You're
too,
not at
there's-
south of the border. You're
Yeah.
you're dealing with
You're
north
at
of the
fucking
border.
the Berlin Wall.
Yeah.
What I think is interesting too is you don't have to you can bribe people and take advantage of people and shit. It's really interesting. And then you have relationships with people who come and go. There's one
Yeah.
guy who's like, "Oh, my daughter," really interesting gameplay.
Yeah, it's got like little bits.
Here's
of,
my
like,
daughter. Let me across the border.
Yeah, it's got bits of depth. There's this guy that constantly comes around, and you're just like, I know you're a fucking liar, and
Yeah.
every time he comes through, and then he kind of fights with you in a bit of a way. But it's it is a point and click game. There's a new adaptation of this. It's not a Papers, Please game. It's called Contraband Police. You can check it out on Steam, but it's basically like a 3D version, and cars come through, and you check the license plate, check their ID, and then you look for signs on the car where they might be smuggling shit in.
So this really is like Border Patrol Simulator.
It's literally Border Patrol Simulator, and you can take bribes from people.
You got to
can
check
beat
the
them.
eyes on,
Yeah.
make sure the cartel didn't just stuff a cadaver
Yeah.
and fit him in the back of
You,
a car.
you can beat them up. You can arrest them. It's the same thing. But if you loved Papers, Please, check out Contraband Police.
All right,
Well, we put that in A tier.
for sure. All right, I'm gonna go ahead with God of War Ascension. I'm not sure if most of you guys have heard of this game.
Yeah,
I
I've
would be
never heard of
willing
it.
to give this game a B.
Ascension.
God of War Ascension is after the first 3 God of War games were done and finished. God of War Ascension came out. I think God of War 3 was 2011, so this was 2013, and this is a prequel, basically how Kratos became who he was. And it's not made by the A team at Santa Monica, and it was one of those things where it was really more of the same, but it's still really good.
This is the one with the giant Cyclops.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
I did not play this one because I didn't have a PS3.
Did you play God of War 3? That
that-
was on PS3. It was only on PS3 for a while.
Don't lie to us, Mike. We
I
caught
didn't-
you in a lie.
No.
You son of a bitch.
My neighbor.
Mike, where are
had
your
it.
papers?
Don't look at them.
Papers, please.
Papers, please. I had played 1 and 2 for sure. I don't remember. Maybe I haven't played 3 then. I thought I did, but
Well, either way, I know a lot of people get down on this game and say well, it's not the main. It's still that classic God of War beat 'em up.
more the same.
Yeah, hack and slash, giant scale, like
It's not a drop
level
in quality.
Yeah, it's not really. It
It's
just
not a
wasn't
full installment.
Yeah, it just wasn't a big step forward. You know what I mean? And that's where I kind of put it with Batman in that case, or Batman Arkham Origins. And this was also the first version of this game to introduce multiplayer, where you could join a
Yeah, I
match and
definitely
beat the
didn't play this
shit
game.
out of each other as a bunch of gods of war.
That's pretty cool.
So, Liz, you're
Liz.
up.
I did not play Luigi's Mansion 2. That's the
Liz,
only one I haven't played.
Liz didn't
because
have. You guys didn't play it either. It's on. It was only on Nintendo DS, but they are porting it to the Switch.
Next
so.
year.
I'll play it
Yeah.
when it comes to the Switch.
So will I. I will say those are. That is a very fun franchise. It's a very fun series. So
Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus. I did not play this.
I played. No, I didn't play this one.
Antichamber. I didn't play this.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Outlast.
That's the boy.
Oh, I know where I want to put this, but I'm afraid I might get some backlash.
What are you thinking?
I love this game.
I'm gonna put it at an A.
Oh, I would say like.
That's gonna get.
Do
backlash.
I think it's one of the greatest games of all time? No. Would I be okay putting it in A? Yes, but I think
It's a B.
It's somewhere between A and B.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's where I'd
quite
put it.
sure.
Yeah,
Because the story is so good. It's so tense and
Yes.
legitimately scary.
yes.
I think it's a solid B.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
might even put it the first in the B tier,
Yeah.
even above Batman.
I don't know, Nick. We might have to fight over that one, but I'll give you this for right now.
Okay.
Splinter Cell Blacklist.
Splinter Cell games are all Splinter Cell games.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
That's how I feel about
Pandora
the Call of
Tomorrow
Duty.
is one of the greatest video games. Okay, hold on. Chaos Theory was unbelievable. Double Agent was fucking insane. Pandora Tomorrow.
I don't know.
Everybody loves Pandora Tomorrow. I feel like it's just Splinter Cell again. Blacklist though was I feel like was that first departure where it was like it no longer was like it's super stealth based. It's like there's a little bit more action in this one. And I'm pretty sure this is the one that you had you could do co-op the whole way through with a partner. You know what I mean? This was the first
Oh.
one to introduce that one.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't play this one personally. I
Think about Michael Ironside's smooth voice while playing Sam Fisher.
That's true.
You know?
That is
I
good.
always remember that one line when it's not in this one, the first mission of Double Agent when the rookie gets killed and he's like as you're
Yeah.
fucking what is it, shimmying across a fucking metal bar and he gets shot underneath you, and I just remember that voice. He needlessly died. It's just like it's just so monotone but so imposing the whole time. He's like, no, but it was stupid and he needlessly died, like or something like that. It's just so perfect.
Where are you putting these? 'Cause
I would give Blacklist personally a C. Judging by everything else on the list, I'd give it a C.
Okay.
But as far as Splinter Cell games go, I'd put this one at least in the B category. You know,
Okay.
it's not terrible, but it's also it's not Chaos Theory.
I never played Pokemon Y.
I'm hoping that they mean X and Y and they just chose Y for the cover here.
Sure.
Were they one game or a separate game?
They're separate games.
But it was like
yeah.
red and
They're
blue.
the same shit besides for like a couple
Yeah.
different Pokemon.
Oh, you mean so X is not on here?
It's I guess they just chose this. So this was actually one of the fastest selling 3DS games. This game has sold 16 million copies.
Damn.
I don't even know there are that many 3DSs
I didn't know
out
there
there.
were
Yeah.
that many people out there.
Yeah.
People got more than one for their one DS.
Well,
I got the X one and then I got the Y one.
Well, that's what. Yeah, I mean, for all the Pokemon games now, you can get them in a box set, and
Yeah.
that's what I do. So I'm sure it's great. I never played it. This introduced 72 new Pokemon and fairy types. So
Okay.
I just didn't
All right.
play it.
Super
sorry.
Mario 3D World, baby.
This is a D, my dude. This
You think it's a D? I was gonna say at least a
Three-
C.
3D World was just everything about this game to me was I was just like, this was more of the same and bad more of the same.
This was one of those games where when they put it out, everyone thought it was gonna be they're doing Super Mario 64 again.
Yep.
They're doing Super Mario Sunshine again, and they just did. Or in that case, it was Super Mario Galaxy, right? Galaxy was the newest one, and everyone thought that this was gonna be this, and it really just wasn't. It was like
This
was
was like a side scroller,
Well,
right?
no, it is. That's the thing is like it's imagine if you took a side scroller and then you did it like top down and kind of it changed. Like
Yeah, you
it's
flip
like,
a bit. But
yeah, you know what I mean. It's not really a side scroller, but it also isn't a 3D adventure game either.
Yeah, this to me is one of the games where it's like if you were to ask me to go through and play all the Mario games, I would begrudgingly play this.
Yeah,
I
fair
mean,
enough.
the port on the Switch is fun with
Bowser's Fury.
Yeah.
Which the Bowser's Fury DLC is way
That's
more like a
fucking cool. Yeah.
Super Mario 64 type.
Yeah.
Anodyne.
I've never
Play this?
played
I've
that.
never played this either.
Do you know what it is? Do you have any?
I just have it. I just have people who are happy with it. That's all.
Cool.
Dark and Guard 3. I have not played this either. Yo, actually, because that game just sounded like it. Do you guys know that Dark and Darker is back? Except it's not on Steam.
Really? What's
Yeah.
it on? Is it on Epic? Or?
You have to download it off of its own launcher because of the lawsuit.
No,
Steam
I'm
doesn't want to take the
fucking done with
liability.
it. I don't
Yeah.
want another
Yeah.
launcher.
You have to
Whatever
download
it
a
is.
Dark and Darker launcher.
Wow.
And I was like, damn, good thing I really love Dark and Darker because I'm downloading it. Gears of War Judgment. I don't understand what happened here. This is the Gears of War game everyone hates, but I remember it being.
Which one is this? Is the
This was the holdover year for everything. This was another more of the same. I would put it in the C category because I do think.
where? Do you remember where?
This is after 3,
Oh yeah,
and it's a
okay.
spin-off with Gus.
Yeah, it's exactly more of the same.
Yeah. Guacamelee. I never played this. So.
I think we have to play Guacamelee.
Yes.
What is it?
I have no fucking idea. Hold on, wait. What do you have any notes on it, or Liz, are you pulling something up?
I'm pulling something up.
Guacamelee.
Okay.
I just looked up guacamole.
God damn it.
It is a Metroidvania style action platformer set in a magical world inspired by traditional Mexican culture and folklore.
You'd love that shit.
All
I
right,
think
this is
I
a
think-
mic game.
Guys, I'll play some Guacamelee and let you know. It's co-op.
There's also a second one.
Apparently the second
It's
game
called
is more.
Guacamelee all over my mouth. Down my chin.
Get out of here.
I'm gonna vomit.
The second game apparently is more fluid with the ability to throw ingredients around rather than just dropping them. But it's just basically an overcooked game. Is what someone says.
Oh,
He sounded like that meme, like,
okay. So we should get Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition.
Is that
It's on Steam.
Okay. It's. What is that one about?
Doesn't matter.
It is.
We're
it-
gonna get it.
All right.
Sounds
you
like
know
I'm
what?
playing it regardless.
I'll probably play it.
It's on Steam?
Juan
Yeah, it is.
Juan Aguacate is an agave farmer who stumbles upon a legendary luchador mask, but he must find the strength and courage to become the hero he's always dreamed of and put a stop to the kidnapping of El Presidente's daughter. So it's Resident Evil and
El Presidente, yeah. All right.
I'll fuck with that.
I think
Flag.
Black Flag. I think this goes in the A
Black
category.
Flag's an
without a
A
doubt.
just because of the sea shanties.
I only played it for the
Dude.
first time in
Dude.
2022.
This is a great.
I'm
Oh, I
surprised.
remember. Yeah, I remember.
I
you
only played
that.
it for the first time in 2022, and it was that. And now I had played Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and 3, obviously. I didn't get this one because it was in all the bundles, and I wasn't gonna buy this game unless I was getting a new console because I wanted to,
Yeah.
be bundled with it. That being said, I just never got to it. I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Remember how I said? Remember when they did Origins, the new formula, the basically ripping off The Witcher,
The new batch.
Yeah. they're ripping off The Witcher, and then I said I'll wait until they do Odyssey because Odyssey is one of the best RPGs I've ever played. I was like, well, which ones did I miss? And this one was the top rated one, so I went right back and I was like, damn, this is a fucking.
This is a
If
good
not
one.
an Assassin's Creed game, the best fucking pirate game I've ever played.
I would agree. This is the only installment of Assassin's Creed that I've ever played.
That speaks levels.
Yeah,
right there.
that's crazy because I
was like,
cannot
I want to
believe.
sing some sea shanties with my crew.
I always tell them to shut the fuck up. I'm not interested.
Dude, that's
No.
the best part.
That's like
No, because one of my friends came home from college, like that.
And he was
that-
one of the sea
Yeah, he
shanty
was one of those.
guys.
He's like, yeah, I sing sea shanties now. I was
Is
like,
this Danny?
bitch,
Are you
you're
talking
not,
about Dan?
No. This was the same
you
guy.
imagine if it was Joe?
This is the same guy who went to school in the South and then started telling everybody he was from the South after.
Oh, that's
So, I'm just saying, listen, what are you, from the South or are you a pirate? You got to pick a lane,
you
okay?
do both.
Possible, a
You could
Southern
be both.
pirate.
Buccaneers, baby.
All right.
Yeah, I just want to say more good things about it. Black Flag, but I don't know what else to say other than it's a great game. I'm surprised you guys wanted to put it A tier. I thought you were gonna put it in B.
I
Hell
think
no.
this like it's
a great
just,
game's a great game.
It's a great game, and also this is one of the ones where like I had felt after, because this is number 4 or
yeah. Well, because remember there was Assassin's Creed 2, and then it was like Brotherhood, and then Revelations, because that was like the Ezio saga.
Yeah.
And then 3 was the American Revolutionary War with the fucking
so that was
with
the thing.
Connor and
I
shit.
really liked the Ezio Auditore ones. Those were great. I think everybody
likes
loved
him,
those.
yeah.
And then I played the third one, the Revolution, and I was like, okay, we're
People, the
jumping
problem,
the shark.
But
a
the
bit.
problem with that game was the slow burn, though, because
Yeah.
the slow burn of it was it took like 7 hours to become an assassin, and you were playing as a villain for the first half. You
which
didn't
was
even
like
realize.
it was kind of like it was interesting in that
Yeah.
way, but it wasn't like, to me, I was
It
like
fleshed out the characters, but it took too fucking long to get the ball rolling on the main plot.
and
yeah.
literally in Assassin's Creed 2, you're thrown right into who he is, and it's great.
Oh no! You start out as young Ezio,
That's
and
what
you grow into.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You
yes.
get his character, and it's just like you're given who
Yeah.
he is, and you're like, hell yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
19-year-old Italian like fuckboy, pretty much.
Yeah, and I was like, it's
Whereas
great.
This Assassin's Creed 3 was like, I'm a little boy picking berries, and my dad's a Templar, and my mom's a Navajo, and like, but no, 4 is just straight up like, I'm a pirate, and I stole this assassin uniform.
Yeah.
I guess I'm one of them.
It
now.
it gives you exactly what you
A
want.
real Django Fett situation.
Yeah. All right. So then we have Stealth Inc. I don't know. I'm just gonna go ahead. Metro Last Light. I'd give it a C.
I don't know that game.
I like the Metro games. The newest one I like the most, but this one I'd give a C. Dead Space 3.
3, right?
You're gonna be surprised where I put this one.
Oh, you're gonna put it in A, aren't you?
He's gonna put it in D.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh.
Y'all know how much I love me some Dead Space.
I know. That's
I
why.
love Dead Space 1 and 2. You notice how I never talk about 3, though. 3 was when EA took over, and EA
That says
made
enough.
them monetize the fuck out of this game. They made it co-op, and they killed all of the tension, all of the horror aspects of it.
Challenged
They made it more of like an action game. And here's the thing. I have attempted to start Dead Space 3 at least 4 times now, all with co-op partners. Can't get the
Oh,
right.
is this the one that you were trying to find like Discord people to play with?
I did play with that one guy for a
Yeah.
bit, and he was cool, but it was just like the game didn't suck me in enough to keep going. Like I
Right.
just can't find the hook. Whereas with Dead Space 1 and 2, and I mean, listen, the remake I think is the definitive way to play Dead Space now.
Yeah.
So like,
But I think that says a lot for your like. I've literally like went into
I've
a
tried.
Discord channel to find somebody to play this game
I
with.
tried so hard, but in the end, it didn't really matter.
okay. Next we have Metal Gear Revengeance Rising Revengeance, I believe this is.
What a terrible name.
I would give this a C. This was not a normal mainline Metal Gear game. They took a character from the mainline series and made it a hack and slash game.
Jeremy Renner?
It was a fun,
Gave him his own app.
It was a fun distraction, is the way I would
And
put
then
it.
they decided to switch back to the main character.
Yeah, and it falls in perfect line with the rest of more of the same. This is a. Can you back that up with the source?
That's
this one.
what
Yeah,
this
that's
is from.
Nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source? My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Like that's actually.
Is that Colin Farrell in The Batman?
Argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
Oh, don't show me that.
The fuck up.
What are you showing me?
No, don't do that.
All right.
The most recent Grand Theft Auto is on here.
Yeah.
Which is
so funny.
fucking
So where do
wild.
you guys think this one's gonna go? I think Papers, Please needs to move the fuck out of the way.
I mean, honestly, I might
put it-
even
might
put it
put it over-
above Last of Us just because it's such a cultural juggernaut.
So here's the thing about this game that I find absolutely fascinating. Not only is it a massive online multiplayer community that is still healthy, and this game is still in the top 10 highest selling games week after week since it has come out. This game has a wonderful single player campaign. I mean, they did not skimp on those details at all. I still remember Michael, Trevor, and
Had it.
I had it too.
You remember all.
They're all
all
I remember
three
Chop.
of them.
I remember Chop. I remember the dog. And the way that their tales
Franklin.
Thank you,
there you
yeah.
go. The way that the three of their stories just mix so seamlessly with each other. The way you drop in and out of these characters, like and how they all just integrate with the world and everybody. Like you can drop in on Franklin and he's in his part of his neighborhood doing whatever, right? And then you drop in on Trevor and you're driving through the LA River.
Yeah.
Screaming at Sully, wait, come back. I didn't mean to show it that fast. Like
Or just like
stuff-
on a train track
or
waking
just
up like
in the middle of murdering someone. Like and this other it's also this amazing story of like Michael and Trevor, how they used to be like
Lovers.
professional thieves.
Yeah.
And you see this backstory of like they had a heist out in the Midwest and it went wrong and Michael faked his own death and like
It went sideways.
yeah. It was just a great fucking game with a great narrative and
And it was it was exactly what the franchise needed at that point. Like they were like, how can we make this different? How can we do something that we have never done before? And it just has continued to succeed for a decade.
yeah. And it's just one of those things where it's like they hit. It's just it. I remember when the game came out and it got 10s across the board. I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
And then when I looked at it, and then when I got it, I was like, oh my god, this is like the first living, breathing world that you're really in, and just. Man, you can fire that game up anytime. I mean, a couple of years ago, the International Heist Crew, remember? Yeah, we did all the new heists. So
I
would
think-
say make this number one.
yeah,
there's a really
Well,
really
Liz.
cool. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, can you, any of you, just take a guess at how many copies of this game have been sold?
I
hit me
literally
with it.
couldn't. It's
Wait, hold
probably
on.
250 million.
How many did you say of Pokemon Y?
16 million.
16. And just think,
All right, I'm gonna go 15,999. No, I think probably closer to 250.
they have sold 185 million units,
That's-
grossing at
yeah.
over 7, let's see, billion. This article says they've made
Yeah.
over $7 billion, and that does not include
So,
the online. Like,
In the first 3 days that this game came out, it made $350 million. That was the highest grossing anything at that point in that time period. It's also the fastest anything ever up until that point to make $1 billion. You know what's funny?
Like any piece of media.
Yeah, anything. We were talking about this. I remember we talked about this in college because Matt and Guy were absolutely stupefied that the video game industry made more money than
movies.
film and TV
Yeah, and we were-
combined.
I remember
We were
this
like, no,
conversation.
dude, you don't understand. Like, these are, if you're selling 185 million units of something and it's $60
$60 a pop.
and
Yeah.
up, you know what I
Right.
mean? Not including, like, of Activision did $2 billion in microtransactions last month.
Yeah.
Like it's not even a question that it makes more money than film and TV combined. Like not even a question. And I
There's-
remember Grand Theft Auto was what Nick and I pointed to.
Yeah,
Like
you're like,
and
look
they-
at this.
dude. They just wouldn't fucking buy it.
yeah, it made $800 million on its very first day.
on its first day.
That's how
on
much
its first
PUBG made
day.
before it left early access. Like
God damn.
for a year. Like
What I think is really super cool about Grand Theft Auto 5 is there's still a massive active role playing community, which like No Pixel is like a really big one.
Yeah.
But it's just basically people like you can find them on Twitch all the time, but it's people playing characters in this like world. But
Like a
people
Second Life.
like a Second Life kind of thing. But I think it's hysterical that people will just like play cops or like medics or doctors and like for hours just like do very like or like even like you know the like the phone stores and everything in there like the tech stores they'll just play like the employees that stand behind the counter
They'll
and,
work
like-
at Metro PCS.
no, seriously I think it's like it's
what a reference.
it's baffling to me but it's so interesting.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto actually, there's some rumors that Grand Theft Auto 6, they might actually have real companies sponsoring in the city to make it feel more lived in.
Well,
and
in
I get
San Andreas, they had like Ricky Gervais as
Yeah.
like a stand-up in the world.
And I remember they had a lot of people were upset that were like, but isn't it fun when they do the parody things like Sprunk, like on
Yeah.
the one plane and everything? And it's just like, yeah, you give it a week with GTA 6 online, and those sponsorships are pulling.
Yeah.
Like, they're getting
Right.
pulled. So
Yeah,
just
when you-
it'll-
when you
when
have
you're
a version-
executing children in front of the
I
Coca-Cola
was gonna
vending
say,
machine,
when you have a Virgin Airlines plane like crash into some building, like
you guys are recreating 9/11.
honestly, like
yeah, it's just
yeah,
not gonna
sponsored
happen.
by Virgin. Like,
Burn it all down, baby. But yeah, so Grand Theft Auto 5, great game.
So, yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5 is our number one game
Number
of
one game.
2013.
So then we have Beyond Two Souls. I didn't play this game. This is the game that Ellen Page sued PlayStation because they put her titties in.
not
Not Last of Us.
Not Last of Us. Well, they sued her. She sued him for that too.
no longer Ellen Page.
BioShock-
I can't
At
remember.
Yeah.
the time, yeah.
Yeah.
BioShock Infinite. I would be
A tier.
willing
A
to
tier.
put this
I
because
would agree.
if no one here has played the BioShock video games before, I too get shat on a lot. But I think that's just because it doesn't live up to what one was.
That's
It's still a
similar
great game.
to, like the God of War installation.
Yeah.
Like it was same kind of thing. Good game, just not what people were looking for.
Well, that's
Kind
also
of
'cause, like,
underrated too, because after playing 2, I had a hard time going back to 1, being able to use God damn it, bro, I keep muting this. That does you can use plasmids and guns at the same time.
Yeah,
that was new.
They haven't done a remaster of this, have they?
They have. They've done remasters of 1, 2, and then 3 they just ported to PC. Well,
Okay.
Infinite, I guess
Yeah.
they ported to PC.
Yeah.
But the thing with Infinite was that Infinite, BioShock 2 was another one of these holdover games. It's like, let's give it to the B team and get. Infinite was another creation. Are you okay?
I was yawning, trying not to yawn.
Okay, because it looked like the side of your temple just fucking, like, yeah. Are you
I was-
okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was trying not to be like,
Yeah.
and it was
Okay.
like,
yeah. You can yawn. It's okay.
Rather than yawning, you scared Pat.
Yeah.
I thought you were having a seizure.
About to be like, boom, and falling off. Oh shit! Like,
my eyes just
keep
fill up
rolling,
with
keep
blood.
rolling. Yeah.
Zoom in.
So,
Some real Nightcrawler shit.
Yeah, right.
BioShock Infinite is another from the brainchild of Ken Levine, and it is very similar to the first BioShock, but it is in no way the same at all. It takes place in the sky. It's basically the setting is the South seceded into the sky, and and you gotta find the girl, wipe away the debt, and then it takes you on a fucking ride, man. And the first time I played the game, I didn't understand the ending at all. I was like, I don't get it. The second time I played the game, I finally got what was going on, but it had to be explained to me. Like someone had to say,
Did you
No,
Look at his own daughter.
He's like the second time I didn't understand it because I had skipped the cutscenes while I was playing. The third time of playing this game, however, this is the game where we get our beloved Elizabeth.
Songbird.
Yeah.
All right, so then we have
Again, I just this is another one of those games where I can't say enough good things about it. I never played any of the earlier installations. I started at Infinite, and it was very hard to go back.
Do you know the story for?
Oh, I know that one is different because of just the way it's very. You can't really do that piece of media as a movie or something. It revolutionized gameplay because you were being played by the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also yes, like absolutely. My
my first
question.
game.
The first
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I was gonna say I was like, if you don't know that spoiler for that game, I was like, please just go play that game and tell me what you think.
Would you kindly go play BioShock?
Would you
I
kindly go
would-
play BioShock?
Honestly, I might actually go back and play like the remaster. I think
Yeah.
it'd be a lot of fun.
All right, let's wrap this up real quick. All right, so we got Crisis 3. I'm going to go ahead and give that a B. Crisis 3 was good, and you could actually run this one. I liked it.
Sly Cooper's
Sly
an A,
Cooper,
baby.
yes,
Let's go.
absolutely.
We love these
We love
fucking
Sly
titles.
Coopers.
Damn, you're putting it all the way up after BioShock?
I mean, I don't know if it's that far
I don't know
up,
if it's
but,
better
like,
than Papers, Please. I'll be honest.
Sly Cooper's great.
my
Alien Colonial Marines is a fucking F. This was the game that came out where the AI was so broken that you never got attacked by any of the aliens. And the story was dog shit. It was just one of these rush jobs. Boston X, I did not play. I don't know what this is
either. I have no idea.
So I say we organize these lists right now. So obviously Grand Theft Auto is 1.
Last of Us, keep it as
Last
2.
of Us is 2. BioShock is 3. Paper Please is 4. I think Assassin's Creed should be moved up
Creed.
to here at the very least. And
I'd say Pikmin 3 up after Papers, Please for me.
right here,
Yeah, and I think that's good for me. In
I
that
think
order.
I think this would be the best organization
good.
of this. So
Outlast goes to the top.
Outlast goes to the top
Agreed.
without a doubt. Yeah.
Honestly, I
move
might even
Batman
be
back.
willing to put Outlast in A. The more I think about it,
all right,
I'll take that as a no for Mike.
I'm just it's like, compared to the other A's.
Yeah,
I'd go like
yeah.
this. This is how I'd go. I think
Fine by
that's the
me.
best way to do it. Okay.
I think that's
Strong-
pretty much all the games
I
that I played
think-
are in A. And
I think this is the strongest. I think this is the strongest representation of what this. Of what I honestly, I think this might be. This might be
that's
more like
up.
this. Honestly, I think that's the best way to look at it.
It's fine if you want to put Worth under that high.
Now is it the shittiest of the best or the best of the shittiest?
Best of the
You could put
Okay.
Mario higher.
All right, yeah. So we'll put Mario up there, and I think Dead Space 3 would be good. And then I think this, and then this. I think that's truthfully the
Probably
best way
decent.
to go. These two are interchangeable as far as I'm
F
concerned.
is F, baby.
Yeah, F is F. Listen, you can polish a turd.
you fail, you
Yeah.
fail.
And then the rest
I
of
think
these,
Luigi's Mansion 2 should be #1 in the didn't play
because
category.
that's on my list.
We're all gonna play it.
Guacamelee is gonna
Yo,
be number
honestly,
one.
one.
Dragon's
Okay.
Crown doesn't sound awful either. You know,
Why does it not sound awful?
Aaron Fitzgerald.
Aaron Fitzgerald.
I'm gonna actually try and play Guacamelee. Honestly, it's a Metroidvania, so they got me.
We did it, folks.
We did do it.
Can we get some?
Try and make this a square again, and then.
You're a square again.
I know. It's good to be back. After being a circle for so long. It's
After
not,
being round SpongeBob, I'm back to normal SpongeBob.
so yeah, that is our tier list for the best games of 2013 now.
And it's a pretty fucking good list.
If
It's
other-
all right.
Yeah, if y'all have played the games and the didn't play, let us know. and
Yeah, let us know
where
and
you'd throw 'em.
where you would put them because
Also-
I'm not going to play them.
I just I pulled up the
Guacamelee.
list of games from 2013, and there's some that like aren't on this list that you pulled up. Stanley Parable came out this year,
Oh,
which I didn't
great
play,
game.
but I know
Great
it's like
game.
a really important game.
Pentiment.
Let's see what else. Rayman Legends. Did we talk?
No, we
about
talked
that?
about that.
Oh,
None of
sorry,
us
sorry.
played it.
The Wolf Among Us, Dota 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
but
Dota 2
Dota
came
2
out.
came out in 2013. God
Yeah.
damn.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna talk about like all like the WoW and
Yeah.
like other kind of
FIFA
shit.
14, really important.
All right, that's
game.
enough. Dude, wait. Speaking of FIFA, you remember
Dead Rising 3.
Wait a second.
what?
What's up?
Rust? Did Rust come out in
Oh, yeah, you're
2013?
right. Rust came out this year.
These are mainly like
Yeah, but these are the best of the
these
best.
are, and
Yeah.
these are console games.
Yeah.
like predominantly.
I don't think that really
or
matters.
Payday
couple
2.
Plants
Okay.
vs.
Okay.
Zombies 2.
So clip of the week.
Where would we put Rust on this list?
Rust is a
I'd put it in
It's a-
C,
is a B2C.
B to C.
It's great. It's just the learning curve is problematic.
Also, it just
Agreed.
becomes super.
And there's
It's
a
a
lot
skill
of fucking
issue.
12-year-olds when you play in the summer.
Yeah, I bet.
Unfortunately.
Ooh, I bet.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
and
The
they're
Walking
fucking
Dead
ruthless.
400 Days.
Okay.
Clip of the week. Let's
Clip of the
do
week,
it.
Liz.
Oh yeah, it's the clip of the week. Oh, it's the clip of the week. It's the clip of the week.
Boy, do I have a
Mike doesn't want to work. He wants to bang on the drum all
Boy,
day.
do I have a doozy for you. So I found this on Reddit, and I was like, I have to bring this in.
Oh no, I already
yeah.
saw this.
I saw
have
this.
not.
I saw this on Twitter. I didn't watch it with sound. All I read was like I didn't watch it with sound yet. So, but
Okay.
I read that the response tweets and everything were insane.
This was one of the most wild shit I've seen on the internet in a long time. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to change it up on our coming back from our little break, and we're going to show you.
Old ass lady, she told me she wants some young dick. I told her it costs 200 to fuck me, so we at the bank right now.
Boy, you better make that dick up until you hiccup.
I'm gonna fuck this dick all in your liver, you hear me?
Nigga, you better make it sliver.
Oh, God.
Nah, for real, like I'm really trying to knock that pussy out of retirement.
Jesus Christ.
You gonna make me check out my nursing home.
That old ass stop playing so I fuck you to death, literally.
I wanna die.
Yeah. I'm gonna kill your old ass.
Really?
I got something for your old ass.
78.
I want to die.
So just to set this up, this young man, he's an entrepreneur, as you can see, and a
sex worker,
78-year-old woman wanted to fuck. So he was like, Let's hit up Bank of America. Costs $200, right? You think that's end of the story after all this, whatever that was. I want to die. But nah, it's the turn of events.
Just beginning.
That was just Act 1. You don't even know what the fuck's coming next.
We're at a second location.
So now I guess we're back at his house.
Her old ass really came to hell house. You know what I'm finna do? I'm finna knock the screws off that old motherfucker on Helen.
Boy, quit running your motherfucking mouth and come get busy.
I'm coming right now. Hold on. Come here. Granny, you better not bite me.
Oh,
Nigga,
God.
I'm about to take these motherfucking teeth out.
Yeah, that dig was, Granny. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you little young nigga, you did that.
I know I beat that old shit in. I ain't gonna lie. I thought you almost died.
I died.
You died?
Yeah,
You gonna come back to that house?
I'm coming back.
Okay, Granny.
Come to hell house.
So as you can see, I really fucked a senior citizen for $200. Her pussy looked like a raisin and it smelled like prunes. Tell me why her old ass won the second round like she young. Now I'm beating that old pussy in. I'm shoving straight dick in this old woman. I swear to God, I'm beating that pussy in. I'm knocking dust, spider webs, and loose change out that bitch. I mean, I'm fucking her so good. I'm seeing her light flash before her eyes. I'm still going. She's
Get
screaming.
ready
I'm not
for this,
giving a
bro.
fuck. I'm still beating
Get
it.
ready.
Then she stopped moving. I had to call the paramedic and tell him that she fell down the stairs. I couldn't let him know that I sold my dick for $200 and damn near killed this old woman.
What?
I'm done fucking old bitches. On Helen.
Yeah, that's just like, this is a thing that happens and someone documented.
On Helen, he is done fucking old bitches for $200.
This one's for you, Helen.
So this young man, he already hit it. He got the $200, and he figured I'll go back for round 2. Except he really threw his back into this one, and apparently
He blew her back out.
He knocked
blew her
the screws off of it, apparently.
loose change,
The loose change line.
a loose change
Fucking
line,
had me.
so great. And apparently, if you're not watching and you're just listening, the paramedics came and had to take her out.
Here's the
'cause
thing:
she
it's not
stopped.
just the paramedics. There is a team of 20 people that is taking this
And
woman
it's like,
out.
and it's like, what do you have to? She fell. Why she? I
fell
don't
down
know.
the
She fell
stairs.
down the stairs. It's like, oh, okay, man. Well, it'd be really weird if something happened. Like maybe she just got fucked too hard or something. But no, I guess she fell down the stairs. I love the way he puts it too. Like I love how it's like it's a freeze frame and it's like I bet you're wondering how I
Yes,
got
and
here.
how did I get
You know?
here?
Paramedics and tell him that she fell down the stairs. I couldn't let him know that I sold my dick for $200 and damn near killed this old woman. I'm
What is
What
Look
is
at
this
this
guy
guy.
doing?
This guy, I don't know.
Helen.
He told that guy. He told that guy.
that guy knows? Either he told him or this guy just put the pieces together.
That
Dude,
guy's a professional paramedic,
can-
and he's like,
You can see the
Oh.
fade. You can see the fade right here and just hear like
On Helen.
everybody hates Chris.
on Helen.
So yeah, I thought that would be a fun one for everyone.
That's
that was
a roller coaster.
that was a full movie right there.
That was good though. I enjoyed
It's better
that.
than Blue Beetle.
I think that's a good place to end.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that said, thank you very much for tuning in to episode of 125. Press any key. Once again, I'm your host, Pat Amberano. With me, as always, my co-host, Mike Burke,
Again.
Nick McFly, and Hey Gingy, whoever she is. And yeah, all our social medias below, and we will see you next week for what? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay. Just come back. Just come back, please. All this loose change. Anyway, get us out.